600 4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Baseball owners and players will try to establish an international amateur draft. That could set up further talks about the ongoing economic issues with baseball's lockout now in its 99th day. 2 weeks of the regular season have already been canceled. At the ACC tournament quarterfinals today, Duke got all it could handle from the Syracuse Orange.
Caro flashing out to the free throw line. Heels trying to get it to him, but gives it back to Moore, who penetrates, kicks. Roach, wide open three. It's good! Jeremy Roach drills it. Duke up by 6.
Jay Alter on ESPN Radio. Jeremy Roach with 19. Wendell Moore with 26. Duke scores the last 10 points of the game to beat Syracuse 88-79. Right now on ESPN2 and ESPN Radio, midway through the first half, Miami leads Boston College 25-21. Other finals today, Big 12 quarterfinals. TCU comes from 20 points down to knock off Texas 65-60 in Kansas City.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Hey, welcome into the Players' Championship here on a Thursday opening round of the Players at TPC Sawgrass. And as expected, the weather has played a role here on Thursday. It likely will play a role on Friday. We'll see about Saturday and Sunday. Well, it's going to play a role because of wind and conditions, but I'm not sure about the rain at least. Today it's all about the rain. Not really windy, actually calm and warm, but a good amount of rain overnight. Delayed this morning, and they got some holes in. Several golfers on the course, 12 holes in for some, 4 under par, the lead by a few, and then a 4-hour and 15-minute delay. And really, that's not even done yet. I'm projecting the 15 minutes because at 3:15 during our show, they will resume play here at the Players' Championship. It's going to be a soggy one. Brent Martineau here. Austin Lane will join us at 4 o'clock today until 6 o'clock. Casey Kurtz back in the Action Sports Shack studios. Do a little something different. From the Players' Championship, we figured we'd go 60 minutes of the Players. Hour 3 to hour 4, and or for an hour from 3 to 4, better said. And then we'll get back into what we talk about a lot is that's football. We'll actually visit with a Gator Nationals driver as well today on the show. We'll continue to update you on the players as well. We'll go heavy Players Championship for the next hour. Casey Kurtz all mad because Hideki Matsuyama withdrew with a back injury, and that messed up the fantasy world. You okay? You over that yet? I mean, you should be happy. You're a newly married man. We got the Players Championship. We're talking some golf for an hour. Don't be so mad. Don't be so angry.
Yeah, I'm still a little frustrated. Hideki, it is what it is. You got the back. That's all cool. I'm more mad at how fantasy golf is handled in terms of the withdrawal. It's the only sport that when the event starts, everything locks because when Sunday football starts at 1 p.m., they don't lock the 4 o'clock players. So what's the point of locking a guy that doesn't have a tee time at the first tee time as everybody else? So that's my problem. And when you spend the salary you do on Hideki Matsuyama, you're pretty much done for the entire week. So now I'm just watching as a fan, which is still good, but, a little disappointing as well.
Well, and you've got your guy. Who'd you pick again?
Gary Woodland.
There you go. So you got Woodland to cheer for, who is yet to tee off, I don't think at least.
I think he played a little bit.
Oh, did he play a little bit?
Yeah, I believe he's 1 under.
Okay.
Double check.
Yeah, by the way, the scoring was good this morning, partially because it's ball in hand, which basically means if your ball's in the fairway, it's all muddy and it's, there's not going to be a lot of roll out here because of the soggy conditions. They can clean the ball, place it back down. That's very beneficial to the golfer, Casey.
Oh, absolutely.
It's you don't get stuck in a divot, say, or stuck in the mud. And sometimes you'll have mud on the ball anyway, but for this instance, you don't have to worry about that. All right, no surprise, Casey, that we've got this situation here at the Players' Championship. It's going to be really interesting. Do we get to a Monday finish? People are already talking about that. But the fact that they get to go back out for the next few hours and play golf, I think certainly helps. The afternoon wave, I don't believe will even play today, but they'll have to play a lot of golf tomorrow. So there'll be a lot of catch-up, most likely, with this field throughout the next couple of days, then to the cut. And I guess it just depends how many more delays we have if we end up seeing a Monday finish.
Yeah, you would have to think you're going to – I believe there will be a Monday finish because, to your point, like you just said, I mean, I looked it up when the new tee times came out. I think the sundown time is like 6:31, and you've got 4 or 5 groups that won't even tee off before then. So you have guys that are not even going to play any golf today, which is going to be a problem. You're going to set them back where they have to play 2 rounds tomorrow, but we're not even sure if anybody's playing golf tomorrow because of the weather. So I think this is obviously nothing the Players' Championship could do, but I think you're on the way to a Monday finish unless you're going to have guys that could potentially playing 36 or more holes in one day, and I don't see that happening.
Yeah, and by the way, that's people, it happens, right? And what the tour will have to decide sooner or later is if they want that to happen in this tournament, which is obviously, in their estimation, on the fringe of a major championship. It's treated like a major championship. There's $20 million in purse money on the line. So how do they want that to unfold? Do they want the Sunday night, the primetime finish, which, of course, I think they would on NBC, or do you get a Monday finish? It's certainly all in play, and I just think at the time it's really hard to predict. So let's give you an update on what's going on here at the Players. As I mentioned, some good scoring. Harold Varner, who has, I'm not sure if he currently lives in Jacksonville, but he has lived in Jacksonville, moved out of Jacksonville, come back to Jacksonville. I think he's currently in Jacksonville again, or maybe he's up the road in like a Sea Island or something. But he's somewhat of a local guy. He's played this course many a times, and he's coming off a win. I think it was in Saudi Arabia a few weeks back, and he's got 4 under par through 11 holes. Will Zalatoris, very interesting, Casey. This is a guy who struggled a little bit with the putter. In fact, I was watching ESPN Plus's coverage early this morning, and they were talking about his putting stroke and the lack of confidence in it, and he even just tapped in from like a 1.5 foot out, and it looked shaky. Well, I think he's found the putting stroke. He's 4 under par.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him this morning. Not surprised to see him at the top of the leaderboard, but surprised when he had at least two putts that were over 10 feet that he calmly stepped up and in his terms hit it and went in, 1 for birdie, 1 for par. So I think he's a world-class ball striker. You see that. He's consistently at the top of the leaderboard, but he's lost tournaments due to his ability on the green. So if this guy's putting like he was earlier this morning and can keep that going, I'm telling you it might be a runaway from Will Zalatoris.
Yeah, I mean, he's very Colin Morikawa-esque in terms of his ball striking, right? I mean, if you think about ball strikers, just the putting has been a problem. Tommy Fleetwood, 4 under par. It was really interesting coming into today and this weekend. I have the European golfers, right, or the non-American golfers in mind because they play in some nasty, windy, rainy weather, right? I mean, you like them in the Open Championship and the Irish Open. Oh, the players that are used to that, they grew up around that. It's kind of one of the reasons I like Victor Hovland, you know? So, but Fleetwood comes to mind when you think of players like that. He's world-class potential, and here he is on the top of the leaderboard. Now, what's crazy about what I thought and what has really happened here is we got a lot of wet conditions. We didn't really have wind. We will get that on the weekend. But we did not have wind today. It was very calm around the 17th hole and around this golf course. Kramer Hickok, honestly don't know much about him. 3 under par. But he's off to a nice start here at the Players' Championship along with Kevin Streelman. Patrick Reed, 3 under par. Abraham Answer, 3 under par. And then you've got a host of players at 2 under, including a couple of locals. Russell Knox, of course, JU Dolphin grad, lives in town, 2 under par. Nice start for him through 11. And Cameron Smith, 2 under par. I watched him make par on the 17th hole earlier today. He's an Australian guy but lives in the Jacksonville area, so very familiar with this golf course as well. Overall, the story is pretty good scoring, Casey Kurtz, unless you go to a guy like Adam Schenk, and with a name like that, that certainly can happen. +7 through 12 holes, so not everybody's playing well. Dylan Fratelli, +4. Nick Watney, +3. Paul Casey, who I would think would be good in these kind of conditions, +3. So, and a former Players champ, Adam Scott, 3 over through 9 holes as well. So, listen, you still got to play well. You still got to hit the ball. You still got to get it in the hole. And even some of the world-class players like a Tony Finau through 9 holes is 2 over par. Maybe the rain delay does him well as he can kind of reset his mind going into his last 9 holes here on this opening round.
Absolutely. There were conditions out there that were gettable. You have 36 guys that are currently under par and have played a decent amount of holes. Adam Scott is probably hoping, like you mentioned, he is a couple over par. He's probably wishing that they would have stopped the golf before he hit 18T, went in the water twice. So that's where his day got unraveled. He was -1 going to 18, and now he's 3 over par. So, like you said, though, the conditions were scoreable. We'll have to see how it plays out now, but there's a lot of birdies out there, and it's surprising to see guys like Paul Casey, like you said. Tony Finau hasn't been playing great of late, but hopefully these conditions stay the same. Obviously, you'd assume the greens are going to be a little slower now and how that will affect some of the guys at the top of the leaderboard, but I'm surprised with what we saw. Obviously, the rain played in, but with the rough being as thick as it was, I didn't think there'd be as many birdies early, but I was way wrong on that.
Yeah, I'm a little. So the rough is really thick. I was watching this morning, maybe the first hour, and I forget who it was. It was the 12th hole. I can't remember now. And they were like, "Wow, look at the rough. You couldn't see the ball." And I think the broadcast team said you couldn't find a baseball in that kind of rough. And then it was on 12, so it's a short par 4. And I mean, you're talking probably had 110 yards to the green. That thing just advanced in the air about 8 yards, got in the fairway, and rolled up short of the green. But you should have seen the divot out of the rough. I mean, that is a big storyline here at the Players' Championship. Take away the rain, the wind, the everything else. This was going to play harder this year regardless. The rough is thick. They actually even trimmed it a couple of days ago, but it's still very thick and full. And it was going to be a challenge, man. I mean, that is different than the last, I think most of the time when they play this thing in May, than it's been. I mean, the rough is not usually a major factor. You always want to be in the fairway, but the rough is going to be a factor this week, with or without rain and wind.
Yeah, I think I personally like it better that way because when you think about the Players' Championship, you think about a prestigious event that obviously has continued to grow that momentum in terms of being talked about as a major championship. So when you think of thick, rough, and tough course conditions, you think of the U.S. Open, another prestigious event, the British Open as well. So I think making the rough thicker in this event makes it more exciting to watch because there's more to lose. Patrick Cantlay, for example, was not in the fairway pretty much at all this morning. One of the best players in the world. He's over par right now. Yep. His scrambling was okay, but you can't play out of the rough right now and really recover well enough to make birdie and barely make par. So I like what they've done here. I like the idea to try to make it tougher without really changing the course like you see at some places. So I like it, and now there's no telling what will happen as the golfers get back on the course.
By the way, you mentioned Cantlay. He was struggling a little bit, but he did hit a very good shot on 17. I was out there getting some video for TV and getting rained on at the time, and he actually had to mark his ball some 5 feet away to when they delayed. So when he comes back in just a few minutes, probably making his way to 17, might be already there. But when that horn goes off, and you'll hear it, to resume play, Patrick Cantlay will have a birdie from about 5 feet on the 17th hole to make a birdie, and maybe that gets him going as well. I thought we'd get a little bit more wind on Thursday. I didn't realize, with all the weather, I just kind of assumed that we'd get more wind. Well, I was at 17. That flag was still. And now above the hospitality tent, you can still get something different than what the flag is reading on that hole. But I don't think we're getting anything. I think it was pretty still. It's in a back pin location today on 17, so nobody's really chasing it. Now, the greens were really receptive because of the overnight rain, and so you were seeing a lot spin back toward the front of the green. In fact, the most danger I saw about going in the water was the spin coming back and maybe going through that first yard or so of rough right before you get to the green near the bulkhead and going in the water on the front side.
Yeah.
But nobody was being too aggressive. But Cantlay did stuff one in. Sergio Garcia made a big birdie putt on 17 from, I think it was like 47 feet or something. So another former champ at least having some fun on the 17th hole. But I guess my point in that, Casey, is 17 I thought would be a little bit more mysterious today with some of the weather. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to play that hard. I don't think we're going to see a ton of birdies there unless people roll in the 40-foot putts. But I also just don't think we're going to see that many balls in the water on 17 today. Well, one, because the whole field's not playing, and two, because of the conditions.
Yeah, I agree. I saw – it's interesting how they're playing 17 in terms, like you said, there's been a lot of rollout, and I think Hovland, who is there on the course right now, he's sizing up his putt. That did almost roll off of the green, so he's got a long one to go on 17. But, yeah, I think in terms of 17 and in terms of what Patrick Cantlay has looking at him, this is a huge putt for him in the rest of the tournament because you can't afford to go to 2 over par when you don't know what's ahead of you and you're 5 feet away from birdie. And from what I saw, you may have seen something that I haven't. He had the best shot on 17 in terms of closest to the pin. So I think these guys are going to get more aggressive if there's no wind to try to stick it close like Cantlay, because if you're 40 so feet away, unless you're Sergio Garcia, you're probably going to have a hard time making birdie.
Well, I don't know if you could hear the horn. I thought it would be louder. Even when I was out at 17 and when they stopped play, the horn was it was a weak foghorn, man. I mean, I want to be able to hear that thing from my house in Durban Crossing. I mean, so I didn't. But the horn just sounded. Fans are walking back in, and play has resumed here at the 2022 Players' Championship. And we should get a good window of play. Now it's just darkness you're messing around with. And we'll get at least this morning wave through however many holes they can. And then, again, that afternoon, wow, tomorrow they're going to have to play. They have a chance to play some 36 holes, I would think, the way this is set up. We'll see what the PGA Tour says, but certainly looking that way for anybody that was going to tee off this afternoon, that they'll have to sneak in a bunch of golf tomorrow. So the horn has sounded here at the Players' Championship. We are back to full play, and we'll continue to keep you updated on the scoreboard. Here's what we're doing today. A little different. We took this Thursday opportunity here live from the Players' Championship. Now, we thought we'd see more golf by now, but, of course, weather interrupting. Casey Kurtz and myself giving you an hour from the Players, setting you up for the rest of the day, telling you what happened throughout the day so far. And then Austin Lane will join us coming up at 4 o'clock for the remainder of the show. Here, the real reason we said, hey, Austin, you don't have to come in from 3 to 4. Go get your errands done. But I really didn't want to talk wrestling for an hour after talking golf for an hour. Yeah. So this excludes us from having to talk wrestling for an hour, right?
Yeah, that's how I understand it. That's how the rules, I think, were played out, because if we had to do an hour of wrestling, which, don't get me wrong, I could talk some wrestling, but we're not going to leave a lot of time for football, and I've heard that's one of the important sports here in America.
Yeah, that is. Just to give you a couple updates, by the way, too. We're going to talk a little with Josh Allen today. I got a lot of responses on my thoughts of extending Josh Allen, so that will be coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. Also, the Florida Gators, which probably won't break them down, but if you're just jumping in, they lost on a buzzer beater in overtime in the SEC tournament. Probably dampens and maybe hammers their chances at going to the NCAA tournament, depending on how you view that and what else happens in some of these tournaments. March Madness certainly is here. All right, let's do this, Casey. Let's take a break. Play has resumed. We'll give you updates when we come back. Did Patrick Cantlay make that birdie putt? What else are we looking for this weekend? And will this be a weekend where stars win the day, or the younger generation that not all fans and sports fans know about but soon might know their names get it done by the time Sunday or maybe even Monday rolls around? It's Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Special hour to start the show here on a Thursday. All players, all the time, up until 4 o'clock. It's Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
On and off showers and thunderstorms will gradually diminish later today, but keep that umbrella handy. Highs in the low to mid 70s, dropping into the 60s tonight, with rain and storms increasing again after midnight. And then periods of showers and thunderstorms for your Friday. Highs tomorrow near 75. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jacks.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Before you buy a diamond anywhere, shop Beard's Diamonds. Smoke for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue, and it is at Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Open 7 days a week. Try the smoked wings, southern sides, and big old platters. Trivia night and kids eat free specials during the week. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all events. Order online and skip the line. Visit williejewells.com to see other locations in Florida and Georgia, Yulee to St. Augustine, Brunswick, and Kingsland. Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Smoked for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jewell's.
It's where I take my family to play golf, and you can take yours as well. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the home of the Action Sports Jax Stream 18, and it can be your golf destination. Enjoy your golf experience by calling 287-PLAY, 287-PLAY. Play some golf or maybe practice some golf at one of the newest facilities in the area. Grab some lunch or dinner, too. Southampton has it all. 287-PLAY for tee times and more. The Golf Club at Southampton, the home of the Dream 18. My home course. Make it your home course, too.
The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin-tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Inventory, and more inventory. You heard right. If you want over 500 amazing pre-owned, then you've got to get to Arlington Toyota. 100 used trucks, over 200 used SUVs. That's rows and rows of amazing pre-owned selection ready to test drive at Arlington. Plus, with Arlington's 30-day exchange program, you get 30 days to love your pre-owned purchase or exchange it for the full selling price toward another vehicle. If you want inventory, then come and get it at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Shop in person and online at arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/March for details.
Did you know that you have the power to positively impact a local child's life? It's as easy as donating to Daniel, Florida's oldest child service agency. Daniel provides counseling to abused children. Daniel helps homeless teens find shelter and learn to live independently. Daniel connects kids with foster families and strengthens at-risk families so they can stay together. They've done all this and more for 135 years. Please become a part of improving the lives of local children and families by donating at danielkids.org today.
Bono's Pit Barbecue. Yeah, it's good. It's more than food. It's about the flavor, the tradition. It's barbecue, and it's who we are at Bono's. Locally smoked since 1949. Almost 20 locations around Jacksonville. On the menu, smokehouse stackers, sandwiches, salads, sides, and Bono's family feast. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. Authentic traditional Southern barbecue. Feel the flavor, feel the community. Bono's Pit Barbecue. Yeah, it's good.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents.
And Doug.
Don't you just love the smell of old books?
Shh, this is a library.
Sorry, ma'am. We're looking for a book titled Liberty Mutual Customizes Your Car Insurance so you only pay for what you need.
I don't think we carry that, but check nonfiction.
He really does devour literature.
Please leave.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. I need 4 more of the biscuit carnitas, 2 burnt end platters, 3...
The kitchen at Kai's Barbecue is firing on all cylinders.
Greg, help me bring these to the pickup counter.
He needs food runners who can hit the ground quickly.
86 on the chicken and we're short-staffed. Let's pick it up.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
You know, the golf course is in perfect shape. The rough is higher than I've seen.
Yeah.
So before the weather comes in, the golf course is playing a lot different than we've seen in the past. Some of this rough is up pretty high. I mean, it's got to be 6 to 8 inches in some areas. And but now you throw in the weather. Yeah, this is going to be a challenge. It's going to be it's going to be just mentally grueling. And you can't really. It's not about 13 under, 15 under. This is about just making the best score possible, and whatever that equals out. You know, Zach Johnson won the Masters at 2 over at one time. Yep. So I mean, even with bad weather, high winds, there's still going to be a winner and a loser, right? So as long as you keep your head on there and just keep focused and keep grinding, like Paulie and Webb do, hopefully I'll be up close to them.
That is Bubba Watson, joined us yesterday, two-time Masters champ here on ESPN 690. We're at the Paul Tesori Family Foundation All-Star Clinic. And he was talking about Paul Tesori, caddy for Webb Simpson, so we'll talk about those guys in a bit as well. But, you know, what's interesting about all that sound that you just heard from Bubba Watson, I don't think he's even talking about today. I think he's talking about what could come tomorrow, especially on Saturday into Sunday. That wind is going to gust around 40 miles an hour, blow consistently around 25, and that will really make this course difficult. Plus, you're going to go from wearing shorts and dodging raindrops to, man, you better have that winter cap on by Sunday morning or late Saturday. It's going to be chilly. I don't know what the feel-like temperatures will be, but you're going to feel it. I can guarantee that. Brent Martineau live at the Players' Championship at TPC Sawgrass, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Again, we're going all players all the time until 4 o'clock today. And then Austin Lane rejoins us as we just a normal show. After that, we'll have some football talk. I will give you a little teaser on the football side of things here. You see what Cam Robinson just tweeted. Of course, he was tagged the other day by the Jacksonville Jaguars. And so Cam takes a picture of, like, writing it's like an emoji, I guess, for writing notes. And then Dilla on Twitter, famously on Twitter, says, quote tweets that, says, signing it or he's reading our tweets and making a list. And then Cam says, the latter.
Oh, boy.
So I guess that doesn't mean he's signed it or is planning on signing it yet, but he is making a list. So, interesting. I wonder if I'm on the list.
Yeah,
be nice to Cam Robinson, I guess, is the story here. We will talk more about that and what the Jags are doing.
Also, might be some news out of Major League Baseball we'll have to get to.
Could we? Is it official?
It sounds like they've agreed on a tentative deal, according to ESPN's
Players
Jeff Passan.
vote, 26-12 in favor. Baseball will be back. Looks like April 7th. So there we go. Baseball will be back April 7th.
Yeah, so much for those deadlines.
So much for canceling that next week, right?
Yeah, I guess that doesn't count anymore because we can just move deadlines. But
all right.
A lot going on today.
There's a lot going on, so we'll talk all about that again, 4 to 6, and we'll keep you updated on these things that are happening in the middle of some of the Players' Championship and golf talk as well. Let's give you an update on the leaderboard. If you're driving around and not really sure what's going on today, we can update you on this. There was a delay to start the day, the first round, by about an hour. Then they got some golf in. Then the rains came. Then the storms came. You know, it never really lightninged or anything out here, but I think it was in the vicinity. We heard some rumbles of thunder, but it's a sloppy day now with all the rain. I mean, your shoes are done in by this time if you've been walking around on the grass. So 4 hour and 15-minute delay. They just resumed as we started the show around 3:15. Tommy Fleetwood in the lead, 500 par through 11 holes. He started on the back nine, but 500 through 11. Very good. Harold Varner and Will Zalatoris, one back at 4 under. Kramer Hickok, Kevin Streelman, Aaron Wise, Abraham Answer, 3 under. Patrick Reed has now dropped out of that mix. He was at 3 under. Russell Knox has dropped a stroke. He was 2 under when the rains came and now is 1 under through 12 holes. So we'll continue to keep you updated. John Rahm, by the way, 2 under par as he heads to the 18th hole, but that's his 9th hole of the day. So obviously starting on both 1 and 10. Brent Martineau here, Casey Kurtz back in the Action Sports Shack studios. Casey, give us more on the fantasy stuff. So Hideki Matsuyama withdraws yesterday. That gets Patrick Rogers in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And so the way I see this is you picked in fantasy Hideki Matsuyama, and then you complained to the lords of fantasy golf that something's wrong with their system.
Yeah, I'm going to just call them by their name because I don't know how every system works, but DraftKings, the official betting partner of the PGA Tour, we should mention. Yeah, so you get Hideki Matsuyama and you play him, and how golf works is your lineup locks when the first tee time goes off. So what sense does that really make? Because you got 3 guys teeing off, 6 guys at most at that time, but everybody else locks. If you go to other sports, NBA, for example, the contest starts at 7 p.m., but if you don't play till 10 p.m., that player doesn't get locked in your lineup until 10 p.m. You can still change him out if, say, he gets sick or say something happens and you find out he's not going to play. Golf is not that case. So, yeah, to your point, Hideki Matsuyama withdraws this morning. So everybody who has him in the lineup, and I think he withdrew like minutes before the lineups were to lock. So nobody could change him out. In my contest, which is the bigger contest of the week, he's owned in 11% of leagues. So some people did get on it, but there's 11% of people that are in contests that are just absolutely screwed. There's no other way around it. So you got to fix that if you're DraftKings, because it happens. It seems like every week somebody's withdrawing. It actually just happened to me 2 weeks ago with Matt Fitzpatrick at the Genesis, I believe, and the same thing happened. I didn't catch it. I wasn't, awake. They were playing at like 6 a.m. Lineup locks. I wake up, find out Fitzpatrick's not in, and you're done again. So I think that's the way that it works on DraftKings, and somehow they have to find a way to fix that, because it's just guys are withdrawing all the time for whatever reason. But at the end of the day, there's got to be a way to get around that.
Yeah. So what do you have a solution?
Well,
do they just give you a grace period?
So I think like if in this situation, if you don't catch it, a guy withdraws, like I would be fine because you're getting nothing. You're getting absolutely nothing from Hideki Matsuyama, 0 points. It is what it is. I think at a minimum, they give you the guy they replace him with, because I'm paying $9,000 of my salary for Hideki Matsuyama. That's a huge chunk. The highest amount is $11,000 for John Rahm. So you're paying a pretty big price for a guy like Hideki Matsuyama. In my opinion, whoever he gets replaced with, the alternate, give me Patrick Rogers. I understand Patrick Rogers is not going to win the event, but if he did, that'd be incredible. But I understand he's not going to, but that way I don't get a 0. If Patrick Rogers somehow can make the cut, then fantastic. I get those points. If he doesn't, I'll just get 2 days worth of points and we'll move on. But I think you got to look at that, or give me somebody that doesn't make the cut so you at least get points for it. But sticking somebody with 0, I just think is kind of messed up.
Yeah, I hear you. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure there's more people complaining, not just you, but you are complaining this week because you had Hideki Matsuyama. Maybe you should have known better. He's had a shoulder injury.
Well, sometimes you just can't see these things coming.
That is true. Guys withdraw, by the way, for a variety of reasons. Just giving up our picks. So you picked
Gary Woodland.
I keep forgetting. I have a lot of names in my head because I'll tell you why in a moment, because I had to pick 4 guys.
He just went to 2 under par, by the way.
2 under par, so there you go. Nice start. He played well last week, so I think this might be a good selection on your part. I have Victor Hovland, who was 1 under. We'll see where he
should still be there. He 2-putted on 17, yep.
Okay, so he's playing 18. Yeah, he's 1 under par, so top 20 right now. And he has been in good form as well. Now, I did this other pool, and I got to pick 4 guys, but it's for the entire majors and the Players' Championship, so you can't use them twice.
Okay.
So I got Rory McIlroy, Tommy Fleetwood, Victor Hovland, and Shane Lowry.
Okay.
I went all European.
Yeah, it sounds that way.
Yeah. And so, but Fleetwood's not a bad guy right now to have. He's in the lead.
No, I love Tommy Fleetwood. I think he's got incredible talent. Obviously, 5 wins on the European Tour and a couple other tours in the other PGA Tour affiliated leagues as well, but still nothing in the United States winless. And it's going to come at some point. He usually performs well in major championships and tournaments like this. He just can't get it done. He actually just backed away from his tee shot because somebody yelled at him, ironically. But he's on the tee at 12 as your leader and has been playing good today. I don't hate the pick, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and I don't hate it right now. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of golf still to be played, but that's not a bad start. By the way, Shane Lowry, I mentioned his name. He's 1 under, and Rory doesn't tee off until later, which means probably tomorrow.
Likely.
For Rory McIlroy. So challenges for these golfers for sure. They're going to end up getting stuck playing a lot of golf at times this weekend. It's a high-intensity golf now, the major feel here at the Players' Championship. So add the wind and the conditions, and that will wear you out a little bit. A lot of focus for these guys, and whoever does that best and manages that. They did expect it, though. It's not like it was unexpected. We knew this weather was coming, and we know the weather is still coming throughout the weekend and what it looks like. I don't think there's any ambiguity in the forecast. I think people know this is what it's going to be like, so at least they can get mentally set. Now, I asked before the break, do we like when big-time names win, names we know, or do we like this young crop of players that maybe we don't know as well, but we're getting to know them, winning events like this? We've seen it all here at the Players, right? We have Justin Thomas, huge name in golf. Rory McIlroy, huge name in golf. Tiger, Phil, you name it. But we've also had, like, Siwoo Kim, right? And we've had, heck, you go way back to a guy like Craig Perks, who won for the first time. We've had Hal Suttons, who people know his name, but now they know his name more so because of winning an event like this and some Ryder Cup stuff. He was a good player, but I wouldn't say he was a star. I even think a guy like Henrik Stenson, like, he's a big-time worldwide player, but I'm not sure he's like to an everyday fan of sports. Like, you're like, oh, yeah, Henrik Stenson, you know? So I wonder, you're a golf fan. There are a lot of golf fans in the area. Do you want to see some of the younger crop come up and win, or like a Neiman or a Hovland? I mean, the list goes on and on. There's so many of them. So just pick your poison. Or do you want to see guys that you know, like Rory, Justin, even a John Rahm, who I think is past the other category I'm talking about, even though he hasn't won a lot other than winning the U.S. Open. Which side would you pick from? Which bucket would you pick from, star or rising star?
I personally, in this event, I would like to go rising star, and that's because when you look at the major championships, you usually – when in any given year, two of them usually go to bigger players and two of them kind of come out of nowhere. But the Players' Championship is kind of all over the place. Like you said, you've had both amount of winners. But the way I look at golf right now is it's so young and so talented, as many sports are. But I think winning the Players' Championship gives you an opportunity to propel what you can be to just casual fans. Now, I'm so locked into the point where I don't really know how big of a name Victor Hovland is to a casual fan. I know Victor Hovland very well. But then even if you go deeper, like you just said, Joaquin Neiman, even a guy like Abraham Answer, I think those younger players can totally propel themselves into stardom, and that's why I'd like to see a younger guy win this year's Players' Championship and see what they can do throughout the rest of the season.
Well, we've probably given you this stat a few times, but there's the top 5 in the world are all under the age of 30. So that gives you an idea where golf is. Golf is in a fantastic place. Even if you don't know their names yet, you will. And so they feel very good about their game. Like, I liken golf right now to kind of what I say about the NBA. The NFL is a different animal to me. One, because it's not worldwide the way these sports are. But also it's like, I'm not sure it matters the star power. The shield and the teams and the sport itself are really bigger than even them. It's great to have stars, and you're going to have stars. But I think about golf and I think about the NBA because I've said this about the NBA recently. I think there's more depth in their star power than ever in the NBA. And we can go on and on about guys under 25 and guys around 27, 28, and even the LeBrons and Steph Currys and all those guys still. Well, I think golf has a little bit of this. They've still got some big-time stars, even very young for this game, in their early 30s to mid-30s. And then they have this group that would fit into the under 25 class like the NBA has right now, from a John Morant to a hopeful Zion Williamson to Jason Tatum to a Devin Booker, to those kind of guys. Well, the Hovlands of the world, the Neimans of the world, they fit in that category. So the depth of star potential, the depth of field in golf is better than probably it's ever been. Casey.
No, I agree. I think it's incredible. Oh, my goodness. Gary Woodland, real quick, let me throw this in. Gary Woodland from off the green, didn't quite get it up on the green, rolled back exactly to where he was standing. So he went for a take two. And
did it again.
No, he drilled it.
Oh, he made it.
For par. So that's that was a pretty incredible chip in.
What hole is that? Is that 8 or something?
Yeah, I think it is 8, actually.
Yeah, it is 8, yep.
So that was pretty incredible. But, yeah, to answer your question, I think there is so much depth in golf right now because when you look at, like, for example, we're talking about Victor Hovland a lot because he's on the course right now, but there's so many guys each and every week that just go in and out because some of these guys don't play. And you almost forget about guys like Dustin Johnson, who's in the field this week. We just haven't seen Dustin a lot this year. So you have guys like Zalatoris that play a lot. Hovland plays a lot, so their names come to mind. But there's so much. Joaquin Neiman, a guy that just won, Abraham Answer. Like, it just goes on and on. Even Kramer Hickok, a guy that you said you don't know much about, has the ability to compete. He's nearly won a couple of times on the PGA Tour. I don't think he's going to get it done at the Players' Championship for his first win, but he could. Sam Burns is another guy. Like, it just goes on.
I'll give you another guy. Cameron Smith is like one of the best players on the planet. And, again, not many people would know about him. Now, he's not a young guy per se, like in that under 25 category, but he's a new name that is – is as good as anybody in the world.
Yeah, agreed. And a guy that just made a birdie on 17, Terrell Hatton, like, it just goes on and on. The ability that these guys have, so many guys have the ability to win each and every week. There's not a lot of guys in golf that you can point at right now and say, oh, he has no chance to win. Like, there's just not that many of those guys right now. There may have been in the past, but there are so many guys with win potential on the PGA Tour right now that you may or may not know, but you probably will in the near future.
A couple of things. Want to remind you, we're doing 60 minutes basically on the Players' Championship to start a Thursday here, 3 o'clock until 4 o'clock. Austin will join us coming up in the 4 o'clock hour until 6, and then normal show. We're going to talk a lot about football. Baseball is back. Major League Baseball has agreed, tentatively at least, to a deal, and season will start on April 7th, so there's some good news for baseball fans. We will also talk a little bit about, the Florida Gators lost on a buzzer beater in overtime. So we'll get back to all the sports talk that we normally do, and primarily football, from 4 to 6 with Austin, Casey, and myself. But from 3 to 4, we're going here from TPC Sawgrass, all about the players for 60 minutes. And right now, Tommy Fleetwood has the lead at 5 under par. As they are back out on the course after resuming play after a 4-hour and 15-minute delay. Want to also remind you a couple other things. If you follow along with me, you know about our Dream 18. Do a golf tournament. Last year we started a discount golf card, and for this week only, or we might extend it into the next week, especially if there's a Monday finish. But now is a great time to buy it. It's always a great time to buy it because it's the best deal in town, and golf prices are through the roof. Everybody's raising their rates. It's normally $69 for discounted golf, 9 different courses participating. Plus, you get some free stuff from Smoothie King and Baker Sports and Dome Hats. Well, you can get it for $10 off this week. So go to ActionSportsJacksDream18.com. It is the best deal in town if you like to play golf. Get your buddies, get 4 of them. You get your foursome already set, but it is a really good deal, especially where golf rates are right now. You will save a bundle, and you get to help out some charities in the area too. And I want to say one more thing, Casey. We haven't really told many people about this, but we're working on it. That will start probably in a month. Right around the Masters, maybe right after the Masters, working on a new Dream 18 show. We're going to have a season of a dozen episodes where we talk golf for an hour, but the primary part of it is we talk to people and players and celebrities about their favorite 18-hole round. Guys like Jim Furyk, what would he pick? 58, 59, Ryder Cup, U.S. Open? Well, we're going to talk to Jim. Next month we'll start that. We'll give you more information as we go on our new Dream 18 show. So if you like golf, you're in the right place. If you like sports, you're in the right place as well. We'll give you an update on the leaderboard, one more segment on the Players' Championship, and then 4 o'clock hour, we go back to football and the regular stuff. Action Sports Jacks, live at the Players' Championship on ESPN 690. We'll be right back.
Brian Middleton here. Listen, if you're a fan of Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane, then I have a treat for you. Every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7, your sports talk fix gets one more hour of greatness with Action Sports Jacks Overtime with Casey Kurtz and myself. We're breaking down local and national sports, and with segments like Cash It or Trash It, vague headlines, and I Said What I Said, every moment is action-packed. So remember, every Monday and Thursday after Action Sports Jacks, stick around for Action Sports Jacks Overtime from 6 to 7 right here on ESPN 690.
Get help managing your money for the life and years ahead. With Fidelity Income Planning, we'll look at what you've saved, what you'll need, and build a straightforward plan to generate income, even when you're not working. A plan that gives you the chance to grow your savings and create cash flow that lasts. Plus, you can start, stop, or adjust your plan at any time without the unnecessary fees. Talk to us today so we can help you go from saving to living. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE SIPC.
We're out of the brand name, but we do have the generic version of
Serene's Pharmacy can't keep up with allergy season.
Who's next in line?
They need certified technicians to alleviate the headache.
Ma'am, I'm so sorry for the wait. We'll have your prescription filled soon. I need some help.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Now is the time to get an estimate on replacement windows. American Window Products of Jacksonville is a high-volume dealer offering a huge selection of products to keep your costs low. New windows from American Window Products can lower your energy costs and increase your curb appeal and security, all without breaking the bank. Call American Window Products for a free estimate at 904-667-0873 or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Most of us get back pain and neck pain too. Maybe you have an injury or you're trying to prevent an injury. 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center can help you. I just got an adjustment with Rhett and his team last week. I got massage therapy too. It works. It doesn't matter where you are in town. There is a 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center near you on the south side in St. Augustine and the newest location on the west side. If you've had personal injury due to an accident, look up 904chiro.com. Take care of you with 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Do you know why you see so much camera footage of crimes? Wasn't the camera supposed to deter the crime in the first place? That's because they weren't Safe Touch cameras. You don't want to see someone breaking into your car. You want to see it before it happens. That's what Safe Touch cameras do. They alert you via text or video notification beforehand, giving you time to react to the situation. And Safe Touch cameras have 24/7 video storage in the cloud, the safest and securest way to store important events that only you, the Safe Touch customer, control. And here's the best news yet. You can get the Safe Touch surveillance system with 3-color cameras, 24-hour recording, secure storage for as little as $39.95 per month, including 24/7 service, cloud storage, and camera warranty. Camera installation is additional charge. This system will work with any security system or no security system at all. Or bundle the 2-way communicator package for additional savings. Find out how you can get a free survey and demonstration at safetouch.com. State license number EF0000233.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise, as will your utility bills. Call us today and take advantage of our fall prices. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, but when we just come out and say it, it feels like it falls a bit flat. So we're going to use humor. But we don't want to insult your intelligence, so nothing too goofy. And we need to avoid any polarizing topics. Oh, and it has to be about how you can save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. You know what? Maybe humor is a bad idea. Yeah, it's never going to work. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
This is going to be probably a worse nightmare case for caddies, but also players. Like, this is a rare situation we have coming up these next 3 days where we pretty much know for the next 2.5 days, meaning starting Thursday morning, it's going to rain. It's going to rain consistently. There's going to be heavy periods of rain. There's going to be lighter periods of rain, but we know it's going to be continuous. And it's a brutal place to be because you just keeping the grips dry, keeping the clubs dry. Also, the biggest thing for me is keeping my yardage book dry because if that gets wet, if those pages get wet and I can't read it, that's how we have all of our numbers, all the information that we have. It's in that book.
That's Paul Tesori, local product, caddy for Webb Simpson. Of course, won the Players' Championship, also U.S. Open champ. Webb coming off injury and Paul joined us yesterday at the Tesori Family Foundation event at the Yards on ESPN 690. You can go back to listen to that interview. Paul's awesome, always great. Bubba Watson joined us as well. That's up on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, our YouTube channel. You can also subscribe to our podcast with the same thing, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. That's an easy way to go back and listen as well. I'm trying to find Webb Simpson. He was one over, but I would say probably very little expectation for Webb coming back and not playing a lot of golf as of late, but obviously wanted to play here at the Players' Championship and also get ready for the Masters, Casey.
Yeah, absolutely. Webb 2 over par as it's playing right now. But, yeah, I think Webb, he knows his game. He picks out his schedule accordingly to his game. So I think this is just it's weird to say, but I think this is just a get back into the swing of things type event. It just happens to be at the Players' Championship.
Yeah, I think, by the way, I thought Paul was really interesting what he said about the yardage book. Like, I'm thinking grips and you got to wrestle all umbrellas and keep the towels dry and all this other stuff. But the yardage book is key. That's when you took all the notes. You did all your homework, especially if you played here a bunch. You want to be able to refer to that. Don't drop it in a puddle.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something you don't think about because you don't really see it, but if it gets wet, we're not going to see anybody pull out a full-on notepad. I think you're pretty much in trouble if your yardage book gets wet.
Yeah. By the way, I was watching today, we're around 17, and obviously I was shooting some video for our TV side, Action Sports Jacks at the Players, by the way. We'll have a full recap of the day at 11:15 on CBS 47, Fox 30. And I was like, one thing about the rain, it's a beautiful chance for manufacturers to advertise. You got the Callaway umbrella, the Titleist umbrella, the Ping umbrella, this umbrella. I mean, they got everything out. And so it was one major advertisement for all the players and their respective manufacturers at the very least. That's why we got to give out ESPN 690 umbrella.
I'm saying.
To everybody at the Players.
Well, that'll
be a good
idea. That'll be cheap.
Maybe it'll be the Dream. Maybe it'll be a Dream 18 gift for the tournament this year.
There you go.
That's
now
not
we're talking.
a bad gift.
That's a good idea.
You don't get too excited about an umbrella when you get a tee gift at tournaments, but then you're like, man, I'm glad I got that umbrella. When you get you have it in the car or the golf bag, and you're like, I need it.
You never know when you're going to need an umbrella.
No, never know.
Webb Simpson just threw a dart, by the way, on 12.
There we go. You're seeing more coverage than I am right now. The first delay at the Players' Championship in 7 years. So I've been here 14 years. I remember a Saturday morning we had this crazy storm Friday night over into Saturday, and it actually knocked down trees 16. They had chainsaws out and everything. It was wild. Jeez. So it was a mega storm, but the cut, I believe, had already been made at that point, if I remember correctly. So we've really been fortunate in the time I've been here, which is since 2008. So this is my 14th, I believe, Players' Championship. It's been pretty good. We've been lucky. And we've never had a Monday finish, by the way, in May. So now that we're back in March, we've had 4 Monday finishes. So I guess it's no surprise to see weather wreak a little havoc. A little unlucky for the Players' Championship. Last week was beautiful. We've hardly had rain in the entire calendar year of 2022 so far. And then we get this kind of week, which is a bit unfortunate. You raised a good question in the commercial break. So let's finish our 60 minutes at the Players' Championship to start off Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 today with this. You mentioned a war of attrition potentially could take place over the weekend. Mm-hmm. Kind of like hold on to your hats. Get out there in front maybe for guys like Varner and Fleetwood who are in the lead at 500 par through 13 holes. Because the strokes could dwindle as the weekend goes along with the wind and the conditions and everything else. And maybe it even firms up a bit, although probably not with the amount of rain that we got. But they can control a lot of that with their sub-air underneath the greens. It will be interesting to see how far out in front people can get. And I was thinking of it as a disadvantage perhaps for guys like McIlroy or the afternoon wave because they don't get these conditions of very soft, ball in hand, the way that the course appears to be playing with no wind. Scoring's pretty good if you're hitting it well. But you had a different twist on that if those guys have to play 36 holes and they're playing well and the conditions are good for them, well, then they got 36 holes of it tomorrow and could really pile up a number. So there's a couple of different ways to look at how this week could play out, given a golfer that's playing pretty well.
Yeah, I just think that somebody like a Rory McIlroy or a bigger name player, who is comfortable because, first of all, playing 36 holes, you have to do it in one day. If you haven't done, I mean, sure, these professionals on the PGA Tour are the best there are in the world, but 36 holes is a lot of golf. So when you have to play it at that high level in one day, that might be tough. But for a guy like Rory McIlroy or something, if you can get a strong feel for the golf course early, for example, like Tommy Fleetwood, you mentioned 5 under through 13 holes, and then you get another 18 holes to play, you have a real opportunity to just kind of stranglehold this thing if you can get hot and figure out how you want to play the golf course even when they move the pin. So I think that'll be an interesting play of it. Tommy Fleetwood, by the way, throws a dart on 14 as a look at birdie to take the solo lead at 6 under. But playing off of that, I think the war of attrition part of it, you're not going to win this tournament this week without having the strong mental part of your game, because you have to imagine, we've already seen it once, start, stop, start, stop. You have to be mentally prepared for that and understand how it's going to impact your game and what you can do to better prepare yourself for the starting and the stopping if you haven't even had the chance to play yet.
Yeah, it's so I guess I just asked the question, do you have an advantage? Did the guys going out today have an advantage? It kind of feels like it, especially for a guy like Fleetwood who might go to 6 under through 14.
I would say they do, because you've gotten the first start and stop out of the way, so you're understanding what that's going to be, but you're seeing how the golf course is going to play, because sure, the practice rounds are one thing, but the guys that haven't played still really don't have an idea, and you might not even have that idea for a whole nother day when you've got these other guys that have played 18 holes. So if I had to bet on it, the guys that get through the first round today, barring that the conditions don't become incredibly easy throughout the weekend, which we don't see them to be, I think the winner comes out of someone who's in this first wave that's actually getting to play the golf course and get a feel for it early on.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. That is 60 Minutes at the Players' Championship as we start the show a little bit different today. TPC Sawgrass, first round of the Players, a delay to start the day, 4-hour and 15-minute delay during the day. We're getting some golf in. They're out there now, but we are not going to get the entire first round in, and then the backup happens. Can they get more golf in? A lot of golf tomorrow. We'll have to see how this shakes out. Could see a Monday finish or just a boatload of golf over the next 4 days here in Ponte Vedra. All right. That's the Players' Championship story. We'll continue to update you on the leaderboard, but there's a lot of stories going around now in sports. Florida Gators lose on a buzzer beater in OT. What's that say about Mike White? Is his job in jeopardy? Because it looks like the Gators are going to miss the tournament, much like the Noles did yesterday after getting blown out by Syracuse. Cam Robinson, some comments on social media. And I've got a thought or two more on Josh Allen. How does he compare to some of the elite pass rushers? Should the Jaguars extend him now or soon instead of wait or pick up a fifth-year option? We'll have a debate with that because I got some interesting responses yesterday on social media. And baseball is back. Major League Baseball set to go on April 7th. They've come to an agreement. Those knuckleheads are going to play and throw some knuckleballs. We talk more about it. When we come back, Austin joins us. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, live from the Players' Championship.
You're the one everyone looks to for answers. Come rain or shine, the job must get done, and you're the one who makes it happen. We get you, Jackie in Fresno, putting your employee safety first. And Manny in Chattanooga, whose local Granger team knows him by name. We're here for you and all the ones who get it done, with 24/7 customer support and access to product specialists to help you find what you need. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
It's that time of year we get to watch the best players in the world in our own backyard. Catch some of the Players' Championship fever with golf fever of your own. Save an extra $10 on the Dream 18 card this week at Action Sports Jacks, Dream18.com. Play a lot of golf, just don't pay full price to play a lot of golf. Order the 2022 Dream 18 card this week for just $59. Golf courses have raised their rates, so you can save a lot while you play with the Dream 18 card at courses like Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, The Yards, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. This week, it's just $59 for the Dream 18 card. That's it. And some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jacks, Dream18.com.
The Big Ten is up, and you know what that means. Get ready, get set, go to Arlington Toyota for the Ready, Set, Go event going on now. Leave it to our friends over at Arlington to have over 500 new Toyotas available with inventory arriving daily. You also get a lifetime warranty plus 30 days to love your new purchase or exchange it. And with 4.7 out of 5 stars and over 14,000 Google reviews, you know you'll be one happy customer. Don't wait. Shop the Ready, Set, Go event in Arlington's state-of-the-art showroom or online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
North Florida is one of the golf capitals in America, and our customers get to spend a lot of time on the golf course because they'll never have to paint their house again. Rhino Shield is a superior alternative to paint and vinyl siding and is unlike any other paint or coating. It comes with a 25-year warranty, it's maintenance-free, and is guaranteed not to chip, peel, bubble, or crack. Bottom line with Rhino Shield, you'll never have to paint again. Book now to take advantage of our spring special, just in time for the tournament. Save up to 25% off, but hurry, book now because our installation schedule is filling up fast. Call Rhino Shield today, 904-519-5055, 904-519-5055, or find us online at rhinoshieldjacks.com. That's rhinoshieldjacks.com.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKB Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. After the second longest work stoppage in baseball history, players and owners reach a deal on a new collective bargaining agreement. The lockout ends after 99 days, and the plan is to play a full 162-game schedule with opening day tentatively set for April 7th, 1 week later than originally scheduled. At the Big East quarterfinals in New York today, the top seed had to win it at the end.
Parker inbounds, dumps it off underneath for Bynum. It's loose on the floor. He spins out of trouble. He dumps it off to Bynum. Up the floor to Durham. Durham drives and slams. Point for the cut. It's over. The Flyers will advance.
John Rook and Joe Hassett on Lear Field. Providence closes the game on a 9-2 run to beat Butler 65-61. Nate Watson with 26 to lead the way. At the ACC quarterfinals, Duke beats Syracuse 88-79. In the NBA tonight, 1 month after their blockbuster trade, the Nets and 76ers meet in Philadelphia.
If you need to hire, then you need Indeed. The all-in-one hiring platform helps you schedule and conduct video interviews right from your employer dashboard. Finding your next great hire has never been more streamlined. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
There's a couple of quarterbacks I would try to wrestle away. Jimmy Garoppolo will be one, but my number one guy in all of it would be Matt Ryan.
Okay.
He'd be the number one guy. I would kick Atlanta's door in until the Atlanta Falcons say no. Okay, if I can tell them, hey, I'm going to give you my 2024 first-round pick, and I'm going to give you 2 twos, that's what Matt Ryan would be worth to me. On top of what Jay said, $70 million, so I can absorb his contract, Amari Cooper's contract, Landry's contract. I can absorb all of that with that particular money. Matt Ryan is the number one target for me if I'm Chris Ballard.
Really? That's Keyshawn Johnson. That's an interesting take. I'm not sure I'd be chasing after Matt Ryan if I'm the Indianapolis Colts. We'll talk more about that in a moment. What about Josh Allen? Should he give an extension, 50-year option? Do you wait? How does he compare to others? I want to talk more about that. Approached the topic yesterday. Got a lot of reaction on social media about that one. Major League Baseball is back. They will play games starting April 7th, so those knuckleheads finally come to an agreement, and now the fans get to watch some baseball in 2020. 22. Brent Martineau here at the Players Championship. We're back underway. We have a couple of leaders at 5 under par. Tommy Fleetwood actually has just birdied 14. He's now the leader at 6 under par. Harold Varner, 5 under 1 back. And Will Zalatoris, rising star, he is 4 under through 14. Brent Martineau here at TPC Sawgrass. Austin Lane back in the Action Sports Jack studios. Hello, Austin.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Dodging some raindrops. My feet are all wet, but hey, we're playing some golf out here and having a show. We got a lot going on. I like that.
That we do.
It's including, it's Gator Nationals week.
This is what I heard.
In Gainesville.
And I've actually been there a couple times.
Yes, and I have too. We did a promotion one time where we raced a couple of like regular cars on the straightaway there.
Okay.
I won.
Well, I mean, when you say regular cars, we're talking just like
it was like a
couple like news vehicles.
Now, we didn't know, okay? We had no idea. They just told us about this, and we're like, we go over, and we're having some fun with it. But we're, like, in the middle of, like, one of the heats or something on a Friday.
Okay.
Here we go. We have no idea what we're doing. Well, it turns out I want to say they were Toyota Camrys. And so they were Toyota Camrys. So I'm thinking, like, going in, like, I'm going to go, like, 140 miles an hour or something. I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I think we got it up to like 80 on the straightaway or something.
Sure.
And they say, like, I won. They said I cheated and went when it was on the yellow instead of the green. But I swear I saw it go green. So
okay.
That was a false start is what I'm getting at.
Gotcha.
This guy's way better at it and knows more about it, and we bring him into the show right now. Ron Capps joins us here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, an NHRA funny car racer. And he's been doing it a long time, one of the big names in the sport. And I guess you had some rain over there in Gainesville today to delay things as well. Ron, thanks for jumping on with us.
Yeah, man, it's good to be with you guys. Yeah, I disagree on the Matt Ryan thing. Now, I'm a Niners fan, so we got the Garoppolo, Trey Lance whole scenario, speaking of that. But, yeah, I can't wait for football again now you guys started talking about it. But anyway, yeah, we got a little bit of rain today. And like you did at the golf course, I was watching that earlier today from the hotel room, and it just cleared up here, so we don't start till tomorrow. I think it'll be okay tomorrow.
Oh, that's good. And I know it's a weird weather weekend, but hopefully you get it in. Hey, how big of a deal is the Gator Nationals? Are the Gator Nationals still for you? It's a big deal for the fans in this area. I know we have a lot of folks from Jacksonville go down, but it's like one of those circle the calendar type of deals in your sport, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's one of the most historic races we have, and it's I grew up in California, and so for me, I read about it as a kid, and to finally come here and just witness this place, it makes the hair on your neck stand up just driving in the track. So it's crazy to think I've won it 4 times. It's just such a historic track, and it's always our kickoff for the East Coast as well. So we started in LA and then Phoenix, and it's a big one, man. Every time you ride, it's not just circled on your calendar because it's local. It's a big one in our sport. So we can't wait.
Ron Capps with us, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. I want to set this up for you, Ron, because I told Austin Lane, and by the way, Austin has like the most unique resume you'll ever find. He played for the Jags and other NFL teams. He didn't play for your 49ers, but he did play for other teams. He currently is an MMA fighter. And obviously, we host the show together here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. But I said, hey, we're having Ron Capps on today at 4 o'clock about Gator Nationals. Thinking, I'm like, Austin's probably not going to know too much about this, but I'll give him a heads up. And he said, hey, I actually met Ron Capps like years ago in Gainesville. He gave me a tour of the garage. So actually, Ron, you've met this guy before.
That. Yeah, Ron. So this is probably, man, like 10, 11 years ago. This is a while ago. But, yeah, I met you through a mutual friend back when I was playing for the Jaguars and everything. And yeah, man, it was really cool to see the garage. It's my first ever drag racing event, and I appreciate you taking some time out. I mean, I think you had a lot on your plate that day, but you took some time, talked to me a little bit, kind of gave me the tour of the garage. Man, I appreciate that still to this day.
Yeah, the cool thing for me, especially when I became a professional, was being able to turn our sport on to athletes and rock stars and people that I looked up to. And I'm a big MMA fan, so the chance, Randy Couture's been out a lot, become a friend, and we've had Chuck Liddell, who I kind of grew up with. And but the best part is getting you guys not only in the pit area, but stand on the starting line and watch these massive football players or whoever it might be look like girls when the cars step on the gas. It's the best thing ever. So it's like going backstage to a rock concert, and that's the kind of feeling it is. And you guys both know, you've been there. It assaults every sense on your body. I mean, it shakes the ground. You feel your organs shake. You smell. It's like horseradish making your eyes water. I mean, it's all wrapped into one. And at the same time, every ticket is a pit pass, so you literally get to go anywhere. It's like going to your favorite NFL game, going to the Jags, and standing on the sidelines if you wanted to. That's how the interaction is at an NHRA race.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it, too. I mean, I obviously grew up watching drag racing on TV, but I remember that day. I mean, I literally stood, like, right behind where you guys start and then take off. And one of the top 5 craziest experiences of my life, and I've had a couple of them, Ron, but one of the top 5 craziest experiences of my life, because it's like you mentioned, it gets every single sense. I mean, your eyes get watery. There's this overwhelming smell, I assume, is burning gasoline, and it's just, it affects your entire body. And I think from your standpoint, being a driver, I mean, just what does it take to get to the level that you're at in terms of physical condition and obviously, being mental as well?
Same thing. I've asked fighters, I've asked people that I wonder about what's it like before, either a play starts or you whatever that sport that really makes me wonder. And they always turn around and go, dude, what's it like to step on 12,000 horsepower and be catapulted to 330 miles an hour? It's the same thing. And when you do it, you can't imagine anything else. Like I can tell you, you're going to be 6 Gs and you're going to be 0 to 100 in less than 1 second. You know it's coming when you step on the gas, but you still are blown away every time it happens. And on top of that, you throw in race day, so you're trying to cut a light, unlike Brent, and fouling out at the Christmas tree. But you try to cut a light, and our races are won and lost at over 330 miles per hour by inches and by hundreds of thousands of a second. And most of the time, it's on reaction time of the driver. So, that's kind of the big important thing with us is you got to be quick, and you're not always going to be the quickest. And then you rely on your race car to make up for it sometimes. But there's a lot going on in that just a little amount of time, that 3.8 seconds.
Well, and Ron, you mentioned that quickness and that reaction time. I mean, is there really because like in fighting, obviously there's ways to train that, right? Like you throw the punch over and over again, you see the punches coming at you, that increases your reaction time. Being, like what you do, how do you improve your reaction time? Because I'm sure you can only drive so much. So like, are there things that you do like outside of the car that improve your reaction time?
Growing up, I wrestled, that was my sport growing up. And I took on racquetball when I was maybe late teen years. And I got to be an open player and played for money at times. That ball being served at you 140 miles per hour and having to return that blue ball flying around, I think that hand-eye coordination and that speed that you got to have, that quickness. And like you, to me, it's and I'm a huge, again, UFC and MMA fan, I think we act. We don't even react. It's the good counter punchers. Those guys, it's amazing to me in slow-mo when somebody's throwing a punch and they don't even flinch. They've already, in their head, they're already throwing a punch back. And you just act. You don't even react. And I think that's pretty much what we do. You can slow it down all you want in slow motion, but I think when it comes down to it, in 12,000 horsepower, when you step your foot on that gas, you have to just react to that light coming down. And if you think about it too much and you try to react to it, then you're slower, I think.
Ron Capps with us here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Fascinating conversation with the Gator Nationals here this weekend in Gainesville. NHRA funny car racer with more than 60 wins. I know John Force is a huge name in your sport as well. Also a California guy, I think. What's up with California and funny car racers? Is that a thing?
They're all kind of from there. The funny part is now all the teams are based in Indianapolis because it's so centrally located.
Okay.
But, yeah, we all, the birth of the sport of drag racing was in Southern California. So I grew up, I was born and raised there, and I think John Force, Kenny Bernstein, all those guys are from there. And it's just kind of moved around. Now everybody's in Indiana, but I can't leave California. It's hard for me growing up there as family, and, Indiana's quite different from California.
Yeah, absolutely. Ron Capps with us. All right, excuse my ignorance for a moment, but you guys were just talking about reaction time, which is pretty fascinating, and the Christmas tree there that you mentioned. If two drivers are going 300 and almost 30 miles an hour in this race, and the reaction time happens at about the same time, does one have a better car than the other if they win too, or is it solely they're going to both perform in about the same way, but it really does come down to the driver and the reaction time?
It does, and that's a great question because there are times your car reacts better by whatever that crew chief has done with that engine. So it's crazy. You could slow it down all you want. We have engineers that monitor and look at the actual slow-mo that we see where you see the gas, the blades on the injector open, and then they can time it by how quick the driver opened the injector blades with the throttle pedal and how quick the car reacted. Again, you're talking about a normal car like the Corolla or whatever you drove that day. A good street car, let's say going down the road, kind of a hopped up one, may have 400 horse, maybe. Very, very rare. We have 12,000. Yeah. So one of my pipes in my engine makes more than a complete NASCAR engine. So there's a lot there that they can kind of analyze. But to be honest with you, you're right. A lot of it's the car, but you can't rely on that. And there's times when I know I didn't hit the Christmas tree and react very well. And in the car, and again, this is 3.8 seconds. But I'm in the car going, come on, baby, help me out. Give me some power to get around this guy. And in my head, it seems like 20 minutes, but it's only 3.8 seconds.
Wow, I feel like do you almost feel like you're a bull rider of sorts, where all this anticipation for them 8 seconds, for you less than 4 seconds? I mean, that is a lot of anticipation, a lot of work, a lot of preparation, a lot of everything for less than 4 seconds.
I know you guys can relate. Most of our runs feel like that commuter flight into, let's say, Gainesville or one of these small-town commuter flights, and you're coming in weather and a thing, you're like, oh, my gosh, just get us on the ground. And you feel like you want to get out and kiss the ground when that pilot gets it, finally lands. That is what you feel like after some of these runs in a funny car. It's craziness. You just don't – it never goes straight, so you're obviously hanging on. And the only difference between a bull rider is when I jump out of the car, that thing won't come and attack me. Other than that, it's pretty darn close.
Rod, I remember when I kind of went back in the pits and saw your garage, I was so surprised of just how much those guys are working behind the scenes, even when you have your first race coming up. I figured just, okay, the car's ready to go, you get in and you go do your thing, but guys are nonstop behind the scenes working on that thing. How much input do you have on what goes on behind the scenes in that garage? Are you just strictly a driver, or do you have input on the engine and like how everything feels as well?
I get feedback, but I'm smart enough to know that I don't want to go into that area. I leave that up to the crew chief and the crew. And I remember, I think you made the comment that day. You were blown away by how clean it was. It was like cleaner than a lot of kitchens.
Dude, you have a great memory. Yeah,
it's an incredible memory.
That's an insane memory.
It's crazy that they're working on a race car, and yet it's cleaner than most restaurant kitchens. But yeah, I get feedback on what I feel on the run, but I've been around the sport long enough. I drove for Don the Snake Perdome for almost 10 years, and you hire good people and you let them do their work. So I give them the input they want, but listen, I don't want to mess with whatever that crew chief, because we won the world championship last year. I'm not going to go up to the crew chief and start telling him how he should do his job, and he's not going to probably come to me and tell me how I should do my job better. And I think that's what makes us a great team.
Ron Capps with us, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. A really fun conversation. We appreciate you coming on. You got to come on and more, talk some football and other things all throughout the year. Leave us with a story from Gainesville, because you've been going there for years. And my guess is you either go to the same spot for lunch, or you can make this whatever way you want to go. I mean, it's just radio, man. It's okay. We have a drop button if needed. But
first of all, tell Will Zalatoris I got money on him. I did bet for him to. I did. I put $10 down. He's going to win the first round. I don't know if I could say that on radio or not.
Yeah, you can. Of course you can.
All right.
Unless you're Calvin
Ridley.
Ridley.
I'm pulling for him. Yeah. Well, Gainesville is notorious for the legacy and all the history, but the Ale House right off Archer Road in Gainesville was notorious for everybody going there, crew members, drivers. And if you were a fan, that's where you went to hang out before the race. And certainly every time we won, that's where you go celebrate. It's just the spot, right? And it's not really around much like it was in the old days. But I remember we won one year, and we went back to Ale House, and they closed the doors when they were legally supposed to, but they kept us inside partying with a bunch of fans. And some guy dropped a credit card down and was just wanting to buy drinks. And we ended up doing Jaeger bombs with this fan. And I had a flight out at 6 a.m., and I went back and showered and just went right to the airport. But I will tell you that fan figured out that it was his company credit card that he accidentally put down for like $2,000 in drinks that he bought us. And we always wondered what happened to that guy. When Monday morning came around, he had to explain to his boss somewhere that he spent almost $2,000 on Jaeger bombs in Gainesville.
Great story. I figure there are more stories like that on the road for a guy like Ron Capps. All right, we're going to make you an executive. You're a Niners fan. Are you sticking with Jimmy G, or it's time to move on to Trey Lance?
I think Jimmy G. He's taken us there. I was on the sidelines for the Super Bowl the last time. Yeah, I think we got to stick with him and let Trey Lance come along the right way.
Wow, how about that? All right, Ron Capps. Great stuff, man. It was a lot of fun. Join us again down the road, if you will.
You got it, man. I'll see you guys.
All right.
Thanks Ron.
Capps, part of the Gator Nationals, of course, coming up this weekend. A little delay out there today. They think they'll get it going tomorrow. Of course, the weather changing even in Gainesville, so keep an eye on it if you're heading over there. But really one of the top racers in the NHRA Funny Car Series, and that is the Gator Nationals coming up. That was fun, man. I can't believe he remembered. He actually remembered.
I can't even remember who won the race, and he's remembering like what I said in the garage that day. Which, I mean, he said that. I'm like, oh yeah, I did say that, because it's insane how it's so meticulous, like just how organized they are, you know?
Yeah, and like he said, everybody does their job, right?
Yeah.
Which is really cool. So fun conversation with Ron Capps. Glad to have him on here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. All right, man. Well, that gets us rolling. But what about baseball being back? Good thing, right?
Yeah, you know how I feel about it. I want to wait as long as possible, let those Milwaukee Brewers arms just hang out a little bit longer. But I'm glad baseball's back. I mean, it's not official yet, right? But they pretty much said it is.
It's going to be official.
Yeah.
It's like I think they've tentatively agreed. And Casey, you thought it would go a lot longer than this. They only lose what, like a week?
Yeah, it's like a week. What bums, man? Hold out for what you believe in.
It's a good point.
Make me right.
Casey?
Hey,
right, Casey?
I know.
We see the same story at the NFL, too. They caved.
What a disaster.
I know, man.
But nonetheless, I think tonight might be interesting if you're might want to see what free agents get signed, because there's a lot of big-name players out there right now that'll probably be getting signed in the next couple days so they can get to spring training.
Well, so, yeah, and I haven't seen the exact calendar. This happened right in the middle of the show, but April 7th is going to be opening day now. So, again, it was initially on March 31st, but now it'll be April 7th. And so, what are we at? We're on March 10th, so we've got 3-4 weeks until that about, which means they'll get to spring training and probably play a little bit. That will be shortened, and then, boom, get ready to go for the season. But you just said something really important. There are a lot of guys without teams.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even know where they're going. Freddie Freeman, with the World Series champion Atlanta Braves, who's an unbelievable player, is not sure if he's going to be an Atlanta Brave or a Boston Red Sox or somewhere else. I mean, it's going to be, remember, Austin, you lived through it. Remember when the lockout, and there was like 72 hours of just craziness in free agency. I think, Casey, that's what we're about to get, which kind of is fun.
No, for sure. It's chaos, and it's what we all celebrate. So I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But Major League Baseball is back. They got to get it done, and then we're looking at a free agency frenzy, much like we've seen in the past in the NFL, and we will get, by the way, next week in the NFL. Let's go to football, and we come back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, live at the Players' Championship at TPC Sawgrass. The Jaguars and free agency. What Cam Robinson tweeted about an hour ago, and what does it mean? Cryptic tweet season. And Josh Allen a little bit later on in the show. Should the Jaguars extend Josh Allen and take the opportunity to do that now, or should they wait? All on the way. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, live from the Players' Championship.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
On and off showers and thunderstorms will gradually diminish later today, but keep that umbrella handy. Highs in the low to mid 70s, dropping into the 60s tonight with rain and storms increasing again after midnight. And then periods of showers and thunderstorms for your Friday. Highs tomorrow near 75. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jacks.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Beard's Diamonds is locally owned, which means the owners are always on premise to give you the absolute lowest price.
People often ask me, how much money do I have to pay you up front to be my personal lawyer? The answer is nothing. It's free unless we win. What about a slip and fall or car crash case? Free unless we win.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You've got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Do you know why you see so much camera footage of crimes? Wasn't the camera supposed to deter the crime in the first place? That's because they weren't Safe Touch cameras. You don't want to see someone breaking into your car. You want to see it before it happens. That's what Safe Touch cameras do. They alert you via text or video notification beforehand, giving you time to react to the situation. And Safe Touch cameras have 24/7 video storage in the cloud, the safest and securest way to store important events that only you, the Safe Touch customer, control. And here's the best news yet. You can get the Safe Touch surveillance system with 3-color cameras, 24-hour recording, secure storage for as little as $39.95 per month, including 24/7 service, cloud storage, and camera warranty. Camera installation is additional charge. This system will work with any security system or no security system at all. Or bundle the 2-way communicator package for additional savings. Find out how you can get a free survey and demonstration at safetouch.com. State license number EF0000233.
Inventory, and more inventory. You heard right. If you want over 500 amazing pre-owned, then you've got to get to Arlington Toyota. 100 used trucks, over 200 used SUVs. That's rows and rows of amazing pre-owned selection ready to test drive at Arlington. Plus, with Arlington's 30-day exchange program, you get 30 days to love your pre-owned purchase or exchange it for the full selling price toward another vehicle. If you want inventory, then come and get it at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Shop in person and online at arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/March for details.
Do you feel a calling to help others? You can change a local child's life by becoming a foster parent through Daniel. You'll receive training, 24/7 support, and compensation to cover the cost for the child's needs and your time. To qualify, you must be over 21, pass a background check, receive training, and have a caring heart. Foster parent classes are starting soon, so please call Daniel at 296-1055. That's 296-1055, or visit danielkids.org.
This is Robert Palmer, president of RP Funding. With home values at an all-time high, it's a great time to turn your home equity into the cash you need. Plus, get a closing cost credit. Visit rpfunding.com for details.
Terms and conditions apply. Unless 7168 Equal Housing.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital.
Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Every day, canine officers and their canine partners risk their lives to keep us safe. Now they need our support more than ever. The state of Florida has approved the sale of a new Canines United license plate. $25 from each plate sold will help fund essential equipment like trauma kits, heat alarms, and bulletproof vests, as well as training for canine units across Florida. But 3,000 tags must be pre-sold before they can be produced. So please visit caninesunited.org today to order yours and help protect those who protect and serve our communities.
You're watching the game and that pizza comes back to haunt you with heartburn. You've got it under control with a few antacids until bedtime and the heartburn comes back. Does this happen to you? Instead of fighting your heartburn, block it with Prilosec OTC so you don't have to suffer through every game, day and night. Taking one Prilosec OTC pill in the morning can prevent excess acid production and block your heartburn all day and all night. Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
You can unlock more cash than you realize from your home's equity with a cash-out refinance today. In the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. And with Rocket Mortgage, you can unlock thousands in less than 3 weeks. But you've got to act right now before rates go up. So when you're looking to unlock the cash in your home, Rocket can. Call 833-8ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started.
Rates current as of 12/12/21. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
Hey, it's Brett Morton from Action Sports Jacks. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jacks on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jacks. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
It was surprising to me that they moved on from him. It wasn't just him in the Jacksonville game or the Las Vegas Raiders game. You know, you had two games where you had the, your destiny in your hands pretty much, and you lay the egg both games. To me, that comes from the top down. That comes from coaches. That comes from the players in that locker room not being ready to go out there and get it done. And obviously Carson was a part of that. But to move on from him, this was kind of eye-opening for me, and I think this was bigger than those last two games. I honestly think, this was something that he didn't do coming into the season, and that was, get vaxxed.
Man. I think that's, I'm going to guess that's one of our, we've been using some newcomers, RG3.
Nope.
He had too much bass in his voice.
So here's the thing about that sound. There's not a lot of sound going on. And it appears that my guy that does not work for anybody as far as I know, but used to work for the Colts, Darius Butler, was on KJM this morning.
Wow. What a deep cut, Casey.
Wow.
That's all we got.
I mean, it's still impressive, though, with the deep cuts.
You know what I'm saying? Do what I can. By the way, Harold Varner III in the water at 17.
Ooh, you hate to see that.
It's like one of the first ones, it feels like. And he was 7 under through 16 holes.
Yeah.
Man.
Thought I'd work that in. But yeah, Darius Butler on KJM this morning. 6 to 10, ESPN 690.
There we go. Very
Chris
nice.
Jericho turned his back in the inner circle last night, too. So that was crazy for AEW.
Oh, one golf mention. We're at the freaking Players Championship. See, this is why you didn't join the show in the first hour.
To talk about golf for an hour? Yeah, I don't talk about anything for an hour, let alone golf. You better believe it.
Sure as heck we're going to go, blow by blow the wrestling last night.
Oh, no. I mean, hey, it's only a 2-hour show. I'm not going to spend an hour breaking that down. There's no way.
Brent Martineau live at TPC Sawgrass, the Players Championship. They're trying to get as much golf in as possible. The rain has held off. It's actually very nice right now, but it was rainy overnight and earlier today for a few hours. So it's a swamp around here at TPC Sawgrass. Austin Lane back in the Action Sports Shack studios along with Casey Kurtz. And let's talk some football. It's taken like 90 minutes today to get some football. The 33rd team, who I follow on Twitter and likes the stuff that they do. And they did a Jaguars free agency preview today, Austin.
Okay.
They said the top team needs are offensive lineman, wide receiver, pass rush help, which I would put as defensive end,
sure,
tight end, and secondary depth. So
okay.
I go again, offensive line, wide receiver, defensive end, tight end, secondary depth. Do you agree?
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of holes to fill. I would probably put, depending what happens with Damian Wilson, linebacker depth as well. But I'm okay with that list.
All right. I want to be – see, I'm not as crazy about the offensive line as everybody else. I think they have to improve it, and I think it's on the list. I just really feel strongly, and I've been pretty consistent with this now for a couple months, I think we're sleeping on the pass rush stuff and the defensive end stuff. This team has not been able to get to the quarterback, has not been able to impact the quarterback. Now, there's a couple of reasons as well. One is they're never in the lead the last couple of years. And so, therefore, teams don't have to force the issue, and when you trail, you're usually passing. Well, the Jags haven't had to face a lot of that because it feels like they've had the lead for 10 minutes over the last 2 seasons. Mm-hmm. That might be a part of their numbers being down. But we also know if you rush the passer and you make the quarterback uncomfortable, that's where you have the ability to also get turnovers too, as long as the secondary can do their job to a degree. Well, the Jags' turnovers have been awful the last couple of years, and I will continue to tell everybody their sack leaders the last 2 seasons have been the number 7.5 has led the team last year, 6.5 led the team before that. They need to be better at pass rusher. I really feel like they have more bodies on offensive line that you can trust than they do from a pass rush standpoint. And so I actually would put that either 1 or 2, and I think wide receiver would be right there. I think wide receiver might even be number 1 because you have to start building around Trevor. You have to give him weapons to succeed way more than you did a year ago because last year was set up for failure on a lot of different fronts. So I would probably go wide receiver, pass rush 1A, 1B, and I don't mind if you put wide receiver up there, but I would drop down offensive line to maybe even behind tight end. I still think they need a weapon at tight end. So, I mean, listen, we can hem and haw about it. Bottom line is they have a lot of needs. I just don't feel as drastic about their offensive line as some of these other positions.
But let me ask you this, though. What is going to happen with Andrew Norwell and Brandon Linder? Are they going to retain those guys?
Well, I think Linder's a lock.
Okay.
And I say this on 2 fronts. One, they brought back Shatley as insurance on a good deal, but not a deal that said, hey, we want you to be our starting guy. I think Linder is viewed as a good player, and you don't want to open up holes when you have good players. And I asked Doug Peterson about it. I think my word was, are you set at center? And his response was basically yes. I'm putting words in his mouth. But, essentially, I think they're set at center. Now, Andrew Norwell, I'm starting to think they're going to bring Norwell back, man, even though for a hefty price tag. And the reason I say that is would we already kind of know that? A lot of these other teams that are cutting guys or want to restructure guys, like word is starting to spread out around the league who's going to be available, and I don't see that happening yet with Andrew Norwell, which is starting to tell me that he might be here.
Well, it could, but it could mean maybe somebody else becomes available and then they make a move towards that guy and they cut Andrew Norwell.
True.
Like the way I see it right now on this Jaguars offensive line, okay, let's assume that Brandon Linder does stay at center, which I believe he will. I think he's going to be a Jaguar this up-and-coming season, so I agree with you on that. We're not 100% yet on Andrew Norwell. We're not really 100% on A.J. Cann, and we're not really sure where Juwan Taylor fits in this mix right now with Walker Little. So you have essentially 2 to 3 bona fide question marks right now on this offensive line.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I would say, how comfortable are they with Ben Barch instead of A.J. Cann? He played there. I thought he did a pretty good job last year. Like, I wasn't like, oh, my gosh, I can't believe he's playing when he did play, and he had to play quite a bit because Cann missed a good amount of the season. So, and they invested in him. I think some people in the building have liked him. Of course, there's a lot of different people now in the building. But I just feel like they have bodies and capable bodies. Like, I'm not telling you Tyler Shatley is a Pro Bowl guy, but I also think he's a very serviceable guy. I don't know if they have enough guys at wide receiver. In fact, I know they don't.
Yeah, correct.
Or at pass rusher because I haven't seen an ounce of any. I've seen way more out of a guy like Shatley, Ben Barch, and I don't know, Walker Little than I have out of Kayvon Chason.
No, this is true. And one could argue that, Dwan Smoot has been more successful with Josh Allen than Kayvon Chason has.
Yeah.
So, no, I mean, I get what you're saying, absolutely, and I agree here. I just think that there still is a lot of question marks on this offensive line, so I can see where people are coming from saying, well, you got to make sure that's shored up as well because, that is the building block, and Doug Peterson loves the trench warfare. He always talks about it, and keeping Trevor Lawrence upright has to be a top priority.
Yeah. Would you feel better about – do you think everybody would feel better? Would the Jags feel better, most importantly, if they do add – someone as on their offensive line. Like, because as it sits right now, to your point, Juwan Taylor, Ben Barch, Linder, let's just say Norwell sticks for now, Cam Robinson. Then you got Walker Little somewhere in there. You have Shatley still in there. Will Richardson, perhaps. But, like, that would be rolling out the same people. And so I understand why that doesn't always sit well. Now, the Jags allowed, I want to say it was like 31 sacks last year. It wasn't terrible. Their offensive line played worse than that at times. I think Trevor Lawrence helped them quite a bit last year in the sack category. So they can be better on the offensive line. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that they're all set. And so some of these players that are coming available, so wasn't there a guard that somebody was going to let go today? Now I can't remember the name. Would everybody feel better if they just added one piece to the offensive line is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I think
one significant move too, not just like a depth play.
And are you talking about Roger Saffold?
Yeah, that's who it is.
Yeah. Pro Bowler Roger Saffold from the Titans getting released, according to Adam Schefter. It would have been the fourth year for him of a $44 million deal. They had a $1 million roster bonus next week, so the Titans washed their hands of him, so he'll be available. I think building up that offensive line, like, for instance, I'm not saying this has to be the guy, but if you were to get Roger Saffold, okay, whether he takes the spot of Ben Barch, A.J. Cann, or maybe even Andrew Norwell, like, to me, that's an upgrade. And it's like I've been preaching, these past couple of days, regardless of the position, if there's room to upgrade, I think you do that right now because you have the money for it. Doug Pearson loves offensive line. I think like a guard would make a lot of sense in terms of upgrading that position.
Yeah, and by the way, just to let you know, Saffold's 33 plus, like almost 34. Andrew Norwell's a 30-year-old guy. Sheriff is available too. He's a 30-year-old guy. Then you start, Feliciano, he was let go, I think, today, or Buffalo's going to release him. He's a 30-year-old guy. And 30, by the way, is okay. Like, you can play pretty well at 30 years old at the offensive line position. I just wonder, Austin, what are Andrew Norwell might be one of the best options out there. If you were to release him and you put him in the category of the Saffolds and Sheriffs, is there that much difference?
I'd have to get super into the numbers and see where they're at because we're talking about offensive guards right now. I do know that he played in Tennessee, and I think when they're healthy, Tennessee's offensive line has always been pretty respected. I think the Jaguars did have some problems on offensive line last year. Now Andrew Norwell wasn't really the big time factor of that, but I think I would probably still keep Norwell if that's the case. But if I can upgrade from And once again, Ben Barch, like you said, when he was in there, showed promise. I get that. But I think Roger Saffold is definitely more experienced, and he has the resume to back it up if he can stay healthy.
Yeah. I really think people would love to be able to go find me someone that can play right tackle regardless. Anybody but Juwan Taylor, I think, is what people would say.
Mm-hmm.
Now, right guard. Right guard to me is right guard. It's really going to be hard to find a lot of great right guards, honestly, and especially those that are coming available unless you're going to draft one. And, again, I think they do like Barch. This regime is hard to tell because we just don't know how they feel with the new staff. But I think there's some upside, certainly, to a Barch. I really just, even if Walker Little's playing right tackle instead of Juwan Taylor, I think people will feel better about the offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, they feel better about the offensive line. They feel better about just the whole how the draft went down. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, true. There's a couple fold there.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Anyway, I think it's just debatable. Really, my main point of this is, the offensive line certainly can use some upgrade, to Austin's point. But I think the major upgradable spots before the offensive line continue to be pass rusher, wide receiver, I think even tight end. I would probably put higher on my list for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I'm not sure they're going to do a whole lot on the offensive line after re-signing Cam Robinson. A little more on Cam Robinson, what he had to say today. And also we will talk a little Josh Allen here on the show, plus an update on the Players' Championship, round number 1 underway. They are playing, despite all the rain, earlier today. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 comes back right after this.
Here at ESPN 690, Brent and Austin have become addicted to sports cards.
Jamar Chase season's greetings, autograph. 2 of 3. I'm banging. Bang, 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 bang. Tony Montana. Tony Montana. Bang.
That was our best moment.
Dude,
that was our moment.
Join the addiction weekdays from 3 to 6 right here on ESPN 690.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin. And when it comes to sports drinks, there's a lot of options out there. Whether you're talking about hydration, recovery, or just drinking a healthy beverage that's going to work for you and not against you, it can be hard to find that perfect drink. Well, I'm going to make things super easy on you with some help from my friends at Body Armor with Body Armor Light. Whether you're working out, you're on the go, Body Armor Light is the low-calorie sports drink to hydrate your active lifestyle. It's absolutely insane how much sugar is in some of these sports drinks out here, but not when it comes to Body Armor Light. Because with Body Armor Light, you're talking about a drink that has 0 artificial sweeteners and 0 sugar added. And not to mention, it's also bringing potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, vitamins, and coconut water. So whether you're an athlete, you live an active lifestyle, you want to make a positive, healthy change in your diet, just remember, you can drink water, you can drink a sports drink, or you can optimize yourself by drinking something that's not going to bog yourself down with sugar and artificial sweeteners. And it's something more than a sports drink. That's Body Armor.
Most of us get back pain and neck pain too. Maybe you have an injury or you're trying to prevent an injury. 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center can help you. I just got an adjustment with Rhett and his team last week. I got massage therapy too. It works. It doesn't matter where you are in town. There is a 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center near you on the south side in St. Augustine and the newest location on the west side. If you've had personal injury due to an accident, look up 904chiro.com. Take care of you with 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin-tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
On average, an artificial limb for a child starts at $5,000, and the first prosthetic for an adult can cost up to $50,000, making it nearly impossible for disabled children or veterans to afford the limb they need. At Life Giving Limbs, we cover the cost of these prosthetics, giving recipients a chance at receiving a new limb and a new start on life. Please help by donating now. Visit lifegivinglimbs.com or call 469-601-8523.
Hi, Tom Bodette for Motel 6, leaving the light on for ski bums. Lift ticket prices have gotten steeper than a double black diamond. To save some money for more powder days, I suggest eating a half-frozen PB&J on the chairlift and staying at a Motel 6. They have a clean, comfortable room at a great low rate. So throw on those stretched-out long johns from a couple years ago and head for the lift lines. I'm Tom Bodette for Motel 6, and we'll leave the light on for you.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good, really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless, now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. So you need to change your oil. Right now you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Daily Protection or Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil with an STP oil filter, plus an STP air filter or cabin air filter for just $36.99. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690. And you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe.
We just don't have a lot of room for error, and, when we make a mistake or we break down defensively or we don't get a good look at the basket, teams are literally making us pay every time. It's not like we're getting away with things. And it's just that simple. I mean, we have a very small margin of error, this year, and teams are making us pay.
That is LeBron James.
That's a sad LeBron.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was. Brent Martineau live at TPC Sawgrass Players Championship. Round 1 underway, delayed, and then back to play. And Tommy Fleetwood back into the lead, 6 under par. Kramer Hickok, 5 under 67. He's in the clubhouse. Your first-round leader so far. Will Zalatoris, 5 under par. Harold Varner got up to 7 under, and, whoa, he made a triple Casey on 17.
Yeah, putted a couple of times as well. Once he got up there, it wasn't a good adventure to 17 for old Harold Varner III.
That is not good. 4 under for him and Abraham Answer, and oh boy, Brian Hartman's 3 under par. That means Ty's going to be all mad at Dad. Ty picked when I told you about the pool. I'm in for the majors, so Ty picked McIlroy, Fleetwood, Horschel, and Harman. And I was like, I don't know if I like Billy here with the weather going crazy and home course. I'm not sure. I mean, I love Horschel coming off a good week. And so I think I threw and I loved Hovland anyway, right? So I was loving Hovland. So I'm like, I'm going with one of my picks. And then he's like, Brian Harman. I'm like, Brian Harman, really? And he does play from the left side, so we like the lefties.
Right.
But I was like, what about like Shane Lowry instead? But anyway, Brian Harman's 3 under par and tied for 6, so now he's going to be mad at that.
He started out. You can start it.
He was 2 over. Yeah. I did first 2 holes.
Bogey.
I would know. I was all ready. I'd be like, see, Ty, your dad's a wise guy. Maybe not.
That stinks.
Maybe
for you anyway.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. By the way, Shane Lowry was okay earlier. I'm not sure where he's at now, but hopefully he hangs around there. All right, Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz.
Okay.
You got some AEW?
No, man, I was doing some shadow boxing while you guys were talking.
I got something better than AEW. You guys want that?
What you got?
From Adam Schefter.
Oh.
Bears are attempting to finalize a trade now that will send 6-time Pro Bowl defensive end Khalil Mack to the Los Angeles Chargers.
Really?
Wow.
Blue check mark and everything. It's the real guy.
Khalil, I'm so glad that happened today, kind of.
No.
Khalil Mack, I've brought this up on the show in the past, right? Khalil Mack is like he's gone into an abyss. Like he was like the most talked about guy on defense for 2 years. Went from the Raiders to Chicago, unbelievable year where Chicago signs the mega deal. And it's like I feel like Khalil Mack's just a guy.
Yeah,
No?
I mean, I think he gets a lot of attention. Like when they drafted Leonard Floyd, at that time, Leonard Floyd wasn't really doing that much. So, I mean, I remember games. I remember watching the Green Bay Packer game when they played, I think it was back in 19 or 20, where he was getting triple teamed. I mean, you're talking about a guy here, didn't make the Pro Bowl last year, but 2020, 2019, 2018, and 17, literally has made the Pro Bowl every single year of his career, except his rookie year and this past season. So I understand, like, the stats definitely tell a story, but I don't think they're everything.
Yeah, but the Pro Bowl doesn't always tell everything either. I mean, you can make the Pro Bowl because you did for the first 3-4 years, and you're just always on everybody's radar, But whose radar? His peers or the fans? Well, both.
It's his peers. Oh, yeah, but his peers have a lot more say in the Pro Bowl than the fans do.
Yeah, but there are a decent amount of guys now that make the Pro Bowl over other people because they've made like 8 Pro Bowls,
Okay.
I mean, I
think I understand there's politics to it, but I still think it means something if you make the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I don't want to diminish it. I'm really going more off like I guess it's because Chicago's hasn't been good either. Right. I mean, they just haven't been good.
They haven't done much to help him out. I mean, you had a 3 technique last year. You had Hicks and everything. But, like, Khalil Mack was really Khalil Mack when, it's like with any edge rusher. You have to have people around you to help you out. And now he's going to a place that has both. Like, I can't imagine Khalil Mack and Bosa now off the edge. Like, that's scary.
Yeah, but see, this is like they just sent a 2nd-rounder and a 6th-rounder to Chicago for Mack. Like, why did the Jags do that? We have 4 6th-rounders. We would have sent them 2.
Yeah. I hear you.
Now, he's got a boatload of money on that deal, right?
Yeah, and nothing like the Jaguars can't afford it or anything.
Well, I know, but we keep saying that. I mean, sooner or later, you're not going to be able to afford everything. Khalil Mack for a 2nd and a 6th, would you have done it?
I would have, yes.
And to assume that salary?
What is the salary?
I know he signed like a 6-year, $141 million deal. I want to say that was in 2021. So it's probably 3 years left on that deal.
Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, so 141 was right. I'm trying to find the yearly.
Hey, the Wi-Fi is really coming through for us in the clutch right now.
You know what? I was just thinking that.
I mean, are we not paying the bills? What's going on here? I can't. Okay.
All right, here we go.
Thank you, Casey.
Here we go. So, what year is this? 2022. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, he'll get paid $12 million this year. 17 in 23 and 17.5 in 24.
That's fine.
And how old is
he?
Pay that. 27, 28, 29, 28, 29, 30 years old? Those are the years?
No, none of those years were correct. He's 31.
He's that old already? I guess he was 2000. He was Bortles' year, wasn't he?
18. No, not 8. He would have been 14, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't realize he was. But, I mean, I'm not saying that's old or too old for a pass rusher, but I kind of forget he was in the league for that long. So, I don't know, man.
I mean, is there a better edge rushing tandem right now in the league than Khalil Mack and Bosa?
I would say no by name, but I just asked like 2 minutes earlier before I saw he went for a 2nd and a 6th. Is he just a guy? Has he turned into just a guy? Like, is he? I don't watch Chicago day in, day out, but I don't feel like he's wrecking the league. Like, I mean, T.J. Watt's wrecking the league. J.J. Watt for years wrecked the league. Khalil Mack for a couple years wrecked the league. Aaron Donald continues to wreck the league. Bosa, by the way, can. Both of them. I don't know where Mack is on that list. So, yeah, I think he just made them very – I would have signed up to make him a lot better and do what I talk about all the time. I think he makes Bosa even better, which, again, if you look at the Jags, are they going to get Hutchinson? If they had done something like this, how much better would they make Josh Allen? I think a lot. I think there's a domino effect there.
Yeah, I mean, I respect what the Chargers did there. I mean, I'm looking at ProFootballFocus.com, and the overall grade is, yep, makes sense. Still playing at a pretty high level.
Is he?
I mean, he's in the green. I don't know what that really. I mean, when I look at players in the Jaguars, they're always in the yellow or the red. So take that for what you want. But I think you add Khalil Mack, and now I think you're talking about probably the best edge rushing tandem, if they're healthy, in the NFL. And I think that means something.
Yeah. I guess some of this is perception, too, Austin, to be honest. When Khalil Mack was doing his thing, I thought he was going to be like Aaron Donald. Mm-hmm. Year in, year out, like 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, you know? And he just hasn't been that. He certainly hasn't been Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
I know they play a little different position, but he hasn't been that. Okay, it's a great segue into what I want to talk. Josh Allen, is he worth an extension? I also got to go jump on TV for a couple moments here at the Players' Championship, but that's what we talk about. Football at 5. Josh Allen worth an extension? Do you wait to the 5th year, do the 5th year option? Do you just wait? How do you feel about it? My social media felt a lot of different ways about it. We talk about it when we come back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. It's that time of year we get to watch the best players in the world in our own backyard. Catch some of the Players' Championship fever with golf fever of your own. Save an extra $10 on the Dream 18 card this week at Action Sports Jacks, dream18.com. Play a lot of golf. Just don't pay full price to play a lot of golf. Order the 2022 Dream 18 card this week for just $59. Golf courses have raised their rates so you can save a lot while you play with the Dream 18 card at courses like Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, The Yards, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. This week, it's just $59 for the Dream 18 card. That's it. And some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jack's Dream18.com.
Bono's Pit Barbecue. Yeah, it's good. It's more than food. It's about the flavor, the tradition. It's barbecue, and it's who we are at Bono's. Locally smoked since 1949. Almost 20 locations around Jacksonville. On the menu, smokehouse stackers, sandwiches, salads, sides, and Bono's family feast. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. Authentic traditional Southern barbecue. Feel the flavor, feel the community. Bono's Pit Barbecue. Yeah, it's good.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise, as will your utility bills. Call us today and take advantage of our fall prices. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Moving Day, a walk for Parkinson's, is happening around the country this spring. More than just a walk, Moving Day is a fun experience that unites the community in the fight against Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's doesn't stop, and neither will we. So let's get moving. Join the Parkinson's Foundation to learn more and register for an event in your area at movingdaywalk.org. That's movingdaywalk.org.
NHRA Camping World Drag Racing is the fastest, most explosive sport on Earth. And the Emily Motor Oil NHRA Gator Nationals is headed back to Gainesville Raceway this weekend. Feel the power, 11,000 horsepower, 300-mile-per-hour racing action. Get them close to the race pits and smell that nitro because every ticket's a pit pass. It's can't-miss entertainment and fun for the whole family. Kids 12 and under are free. Get tickets at NHRA.com.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Owners and players reaching a tentative deal on a new basic agreement after a 99-day lockout. That deal still needs to be approved, but training camps could open up on Sunday, and opening day could be April 7th. At the Big 12 tournament quarterfinals today, TCU comes back from 20 points down to beat Texas.
Here's Ball. To Lampkin. They've got the lead. 8-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Texas with the ball down 2.
Craig Way on Lear Field. The Horned Frogs hold Texas to 20 points in the second half and beat the Longhorns 65-60. Damian Baugh with 17 points to lead TCU. Kansas State coach Bruce Weber resigns today after 10 years with the Wildcats. And ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Bears are trying to finalize a trade that would send 6-time Pro Bowl defensive end Khalil Mack to the Chargers for 2 future draft picks.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
There's been some speculation out there that the New York Giants, with Brian Daboll, their new general manager Joe Shane, all the Buffalo connections, there's been some talk that the Giants could be interested in you, although I personally don't think that they'll be able to afford you because they can't offer you the starting job initially. I think you're going to be brought in as a starter. But when I say the New York Giants to you,
yeah, I think of Coach Daboll right away, just because my connection with him in Buffalo. I'm excited to see what he does in New York, really. I don't know where I'm going to go, but I know whatever he does there, he's going to do a great job with that offense. He's a great leader of men. He's just real and authentic with all the guys, and I think that's why so many people respected him in our building.
Casey, the next quarterback of the New York Giants is going to be who? Like week 1, regular season, starting quarterback is and go.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones?
Yeah.
You think they're going to roll with him?
I do.
I mean, to me, I know we're hearing the Mitch Trubisky rumors and everything like that, but I think if anybody's going to bring out the best in Daniel Jones, it's going to be Daboll. Because while I'm not even ready to call him in the same ballpark as a Josh Allen, I think they do have similarities in terms of size, in terms of being able to run the ball. Now, Daniel Jones ran the ball a little bit too much last year, and you got him hurt a couple times. But I think a lot of things you can do in Buffalo, you can do in New York, just not to obviously the skill set in terms of your skill positions. Even really the running game, we'll see with Saquon Barkley. But I do see Daniel Jones as a diet Josh Allen. You agree?
Yeah, I go with that.
Yeah, I'd go with that as well. Do you think Mr. Trubisky gets an opportunity in New York, or do you think he goes someplace else?
And
why are we talking about Mitch Trubisky so much? Like, I understand, okay, like you didn't have a good go-around in Chicago, didn't really get your feet wet in Buffalo, but like we have guys like Jimmy Garoppolo out there. We'll see about Deshaun Watson, how that all transpires. But Mitch Trubisky, this is the guy right now?
Because as a society, not only are we infatuated with football, we're infatuated with backup quarterbacks. So Mitch Trubisky is that guy. And it's kind of like Jameis Winston from like 2 years ago or last year, I forget. Like, we're back on Jameis Winston. Like he could be a quarterback. So I think it's interesting, and I do think Mitch Trubisky will be somebody's quarterback week 1. I just don't know who.
One more question for you about the backup quarterback position, since we're on the topic.
Sure.
And we give the people what they want.
Yeah. Gardner
Minshew.
Or Mitch Trubisky, like.
What? No, I'm saying what happens with Gardner Minshew? Do you think he go? I mean, because in case you didn't notice, he was trending this morning talking about going to the. Yeah, he was. People talking about him going to the Colts.
No.
How do you feel about Gardner Minshew going someplace?
I don't think anybody's trading for Gardner Minshew to be their starter, including the Indianapolis Colts, because, look, I know how we feel about Minshew around here, and he did win some football games, but I don't think that the Colts' master plan was Carson Wentz to Gardner Minshew. That just would surprise me. But, we never know. But I think Gardner Minshew is actually in a good spot in Philadelphia because I think Jalen Hurts is going to be their quarterback, but for some reason it seems like half the population doesn't want him to be. So I think Minshew's in a spot where he won games when he came into play, and you know how those fans are. So if they end up falling to the pressure, take out Jalen Hurts, put in Gardner Minshew, I think he's in a decent spot.
Well, and it's so wild, too, of what we're seeing from this quarterback class this year in the draft, right? I mean, I think it's speaking volumes right now in terms of what the Broncos gave up to get Russell Wilson, the talks of Mitch Trubisky, the talks of Jimmy Garoppolo. Because, I mean, you have some possible, candidates in Kenny Pickett, in Malik Willis, in Matt Corral. And, we haven't heard anything about those guys. And, we come from a year last year where it was the Trevor Lawrence show, the Zach Wilson show. Where's Trey Lance going to go? Mac Jones, how far is he going to drop? It's wild this year that it seems like every single quarterback, regardless of, their talent and what they bring to the table, is kind of an afterthought.
Yeah, I agree with that. And if we're keeping track, I would go Kenny Pickett, 1, and then Mitch Trubisky or some other backup. I think Kenny Pickett's going to be good. And if the opportunity was there for the Colts or somebody, that needed a quarterback, I'd go with Kenny Pickett if you could get him.
But how do you feel about a guy like Malik Willis? Because if the draft and teams have shown us anything, it seems like these past couple years, they are infatuated with the dual threat capabilities of a quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's a reason why Josh Allen went as high as he did coming from Wyoming, where if you look at his last year there, his numbers were nothing special. You look at a guy like Trey Lance, who, out of North Dakota State, another small school, goes in, number 3 it would have been?
Yep.
To the 49ers because of the dual threat capabilities. Once again, a small school guy. You look at a guy like Malik Willis, who, is not as big as Trey Lance, I don't think. Isn't as big as Josh Allen, obviously. But do you think he's going to be the surprise of this draft where a team might trade up because for whatever reason, the dual threat is in their minds and they take him before a Pickett or even maybe Matt Corral, somehow he miraculously is the top quarterback taken?
Yeah, I agree that Malik Willis would be that move-up guy, because that always seems to happen. Like, you move up and get Carson Wentz, like you said, or Mitch Trubisky. Like, I think with the style of his play I think he is the move-up guy. But if it were me, I think that's going to turn out to be, he might be an okay player, but when you think too hard about things like you did with Deshaun Watson when you passed on him, or like Lamar Jackson, everybody passed on him. Other quarterbacks were picked before both of them. You thought too much about it. You didn't pick them, and they ended up being great. I think that's how it'll work with Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis, but it would not shock me at all if he's the first quarterback off the board being Malik Willis.
Action Sports Jax here on ESPN 690. We got Brett Martineau at the Players right now doing a little video, so we're just holding down the fort until he gets back. But he brought up something interesting, and we'll get more in depth into it when he comes back. But the whole Josh Allen thing, of what do you do with a guy like Josh Allen right now? And, obviously I saw the mentions this morning, and it seems to be the same 3 people going back and forth with my mentions, and it's like a Harry Potter book. It is so long. I mean, I honestly, I stopped reading it because, wow, you guys are super into this, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the passion and the takes from these gentlemen, but I only have so many hours in the day. I'm not going to read a Harry Potter's worth of Josh Allen takes, but it's an interesting scenario right now, because if you look at where Josh Allen was drafted compared to the numbers that he's put up, he had that one great season. He goes to the Pro Bowl, and we think, oh, yeah, this guy's the future. This guy is going to be special for years and years to come. And he had all the momentum going towards that. He was the good Josh Allen. We were talking about, all of a sudden that guy in Buffalo was a bump. Compliments of Jalen Ramsey and company. And we call him the bad Josh Allen. When you come out your rookie year and you put up over 10 sacks and you go to a Pro Bowl, like, regardless of where you're drafted, that's something special, right? Like, you see a guy in Micah Parsons right now. They are over the moon about Micah Parsons in Dallas over that rookie year, just because the numbers say so. And we kind of felt that same way Josh Allen's rookie year. Well, then what happens the second year, right? You lose Calais Campbell. You lose Malik. Malik was he was already gone by then. But you lose Calais Campbell. You lose some other pieces, and you go from a 10.5 sack campaign to a campaign where you were banged up half the year. You only played in 8 games, and you got 2.5 sacks, right? So okay, chalk it up to the injuries. Chalk it up to losing Calais, that big guy in the middle. Whatever the case may be, wasn't a good season for Josh Allen in 2020. 2021, we thought, okay, he's coming back, new defense, a Joe Cullen defense with Bob Sutton influences from Kansas City, where he's going to be allowed to shine. It's going to be tailored around him. And while I think the defense was tailored around him, only 7.5 sacks. Now, I say only 7.5 sacks with a caveat, because he was close so many times. He, hands on the quarterback, ready to fall down, and the quarterback gets rid of the ball. Just a split second too slow. And you know what they say in football? Close only matters in horseshoes and hand grenades. I feel like every defensive line coach I've ever had said that to me at one point of my career. So 7.5 sacks from there, and now you're left with the question, what do you do with Josh Allen? And the question comes from more of Doug Peterson bringing this up to us as well, saying, hey, it's our goal to re-sign these guys, to keep these guys here. And despite what the numbers may say, because I think 7.5 sacks is still underachieving for Josh Allen. Obviously, 2.5 sacks his second year was big-time underachieving. but it's about more of what he can do for the locker room. It's more of what it means to re-sign this guy. And I always talk about the bridge guys. I've echoed this so many times on the show, but when you talk about a bridge guy, you talk about a guy who maybe he's not the most talented person on your team, or maybe he is, but he affects your team so much on the field and off the field. Daryl Smith was a classic example of that. You ask anybody in that locker room when Daryl Smith got let go, I guarantee they tell you they shouldn't have did that, right? That's the way the league works sometimes, money, whatever the case may be. Daryl Smith should have not been let go. You saw what Daryl Smith did, filled the shoes of Ray Lewis, had a great, 3 or 4 years or whatever it was in Baltimore, and then called it a day. With Josh Allen, you still have a young guy who hasn't reached his full potential yet. And you have a guy that plays on a defensive line right now that hasn't even come close to reaching their full potential. I think if you put Josh Allen in L.A. right now in the Rams, I think he has 12, 13, 14 sacks a year with Aaron Donald. He just doesn't have that right now in Jacksonville. So that's got to be taken into account as well. But I think from Doug Peterson's standpoint, from Trent Baalke's standpoint, I'm not saying it's the top priority because he still has room on that contract to try to prove himself and to make some money, and I get that. But I think down the line, re-signing Josh Allen has to be a priority here.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Austin. And again, this is on the heels of bringing this up yesterday. I kind of said three things. Amari Cooper, a significant player on defense, and I would extend Josh Allen. You just hit on a couple of really good points. If the Jaguars, Peterson and Baalke, are going to preach, let's keep second contract guys, right? Let's draft our own, develop our own, extend our own, essentially. Well, this is a great example. If they want to say something to the locker room, I always say this. I say this to all. The biggest impact you've had on me in this show, Austin, is this phrase. It's not how much money it is. It's what the money says. Mm-hmm. Okay? And so I think about that a lot. Well, what would the money say for a guy like Josh Allen, who is a fantastic ambassador for this city, this franchise, while other people were trying to maybe get out of here, and while things were going wrong, he still said, I want to be here. I want to help turn this thing around. And that's not it. You can't just do that. You got to be a good player. He's a 7th overall pick a few years back, and I don't know if he has achieved that status yet, but he does have 20.5 sacks in 40 career games. That's not bad. In fact, in the first 3 years, that will get you into like the Yannick Ngakoue territory of how well you did in your first 3 seasons, right around there. So he's pacing pretty well, especially if he had stayed healthy in year number 2. So that's where all this comes from. In May, they can pick up the 5th-year option. Might be the easiest thing to do, pick up the 5th-year option. But the 5th-year option doesn't help the player, Austin, right? Correct. But the 5th-year option doesn't say, hey, that's telling you that we want to keep you. That's telling the locker room this. No, that's a power play the organization has. That's a business move.
No, without a doubt. And we've been over this before. You know how I feel about certain things, the franchise tag being one of them, those contracts being another. I mean, the Jaguars find themselves in a predicament right now because you have a guy in Josh Allen who obviously hasn't, reached that potential quite yet. He's shown glimpses, but he hasn't been there. If you were to re-sign him after okay, for the sake of the argument, let's just say Josh Allen comes out and, I don't know, what would satisfy you this year for Josh Allen, Brent, in terms of productivity? Should we call it 12 sacks?
I think a dozen sacks is a reasonable number for Josh to really take off. In year 4, I believe that's actually where some of these other guys, I'm not sure Crosby. Yes, Crosby. No, he's a 3-year guy. Like a Khalil Mack, when I was looking up numbers, I think year 4, he had a great year 2 or 3, I think, too. But year 4, I think his even numbers went up. I think that would be good if he's got help on the other side. Yeah, I think 12 is a reasonable number.
Okay, so yeah, let's say you have 12 here. That's fantastic. Okay, you can win with that. Well, then you almost got to pull the trigger right then and there. Right now, the problem with that is if you do have a career year, if you're Josh Allen, you go to another Pro Bowl and whatever accolades come your way, you get. Well, now that price of Josh Allen has just went up drastically. Right, like right now, Josh Allen could be at an all-time low in buying just because,
absolutely,
the productivity. So it just comes to the point of when do you pull the trigger? I think he's a guy you definitely want here in the future, regardless of what the stats say, even maybe this year. We'll see. If he has 2.5 sacks with it, yeah, you're going to be worried about it. right?
Yeah.
But I don't see that happening at all if he can stay healthy. So to me, if you're Trent Baalke or Doug Peterson, who's ever calling the shots here in terms of, the contract coming up, you got to find that sweet spot where it's like, okay, he still has some left in the tank. We haven't seen the best Josh Allen yet, but, it's going to come at a little bit of a cost. And if you can find that sweet spot, then by all means do that. If that's halfway through the season, if that's 3/4 through the season, or if at the end of the season, so be it. But I think he's got to be a priority going forward in terms of retaining a guy, just because you can't keep having these first-round picks leave you, right? Whether it's due to the performance on the field, or whether it's due to being disgruntled in the locker room. We've seen too many guys, especially at the first round, leave. And if you look at the building blocks of Super Bowl championship type teams, they always bring their first rounders back, right? They always sign those first rounders to a second deal. I would say probably almost all of them do it. And the Jaguars, for whatever reason, haven't figured out that formula. Once again, whether it's because performance on the field or, disgruntledness in the locker room.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any animosity between the sides at all either. I think Josh Allen understands he can play a little bit better. I think he was very honest, by the way, with us in his post-season interview, where he said, listen, I got to be better in the last 6-7 games. After the Buffalo game, I kind of faded. I can't do that. So I look at this from an organizational standpoint. If you're telling me you want to sign and keep your guys, he's a great guy to do it. Mm-hmm. If you want, to your point, get a little bit of a break maybe on a very good player that was drafted 7th overall, that you still think is a very good player and might even not have reached where he can go as a player in the NFL, then heck, the dollars are better right now than they might be, like your point is, later next year or beyond. The Jags certainly could do the 5th-year option thing. They could around Labor Day. They could in December. They could right after the season, then extend. They have all those options at their table. But if they want to create culture, if they want to set the table for what this is going to be all about under Peterson and Baalke, then I think extending Josh Allen is not a bad idea. You got the money. You're going to do it at some point. Do it now. Pick Aiden Hutchinson. You got your duo together now for the next 4 or 5 years. I think it makes a lot of sense. Let me give you you told me a bunch of other examples in our text. I looked up 2 guys, okay? And while I understand you were going after first-round picks and top 10 picks, I'm giving you an example of one that was a top 5 pick and another one that, wasn't. And he's overperformed. But I'm really just going off performance in the NFL and projected contracts. So I'm going to throw some numbers at you. Listen up. Josh Allen, by the way, 40 games he's played because he missed some of his second year, 20.5 sacks. All right? Mm-hmm. Khalil Mack, in his first 48 games, 30 sacks, which is very good, right? 8 more games, but 10 more sacks. Shows you what kind of player he was and is. 6-year, $141 million deal he would eventually sign. And now today, the big news, he just got traded to the Chargers. But that was he was the standard. He was the guy. He was drafted top 5. He performed. He got paid. He set the market. Then he got traded to Chicago, all that stuff. Really, Chicago helped set the market. They gave him the deal. So then I compared him to a Max Crosby, who we've talked about before, right? He's a 12-sack guy a year. He's really come on. He's overperformed. I understand that part. But I'm talking production. Let's see where a guy like Josh measures up. Well, Max Crosby's 47 games, so that's 7 more than Josh, 25 sacks. That's 4.5 more than Josh. Well, he's projected to receive a 5-year, $136 million deal. Mm-hmm. And there's talk out of Las Vegas that they're going to do that, right?
Sure.
So, and that's I think that is 3 years in. He's just a 3-year in guy, is Crosby. So that's a bit, as much as we think around here, Josh Allen, because, again, he was picked 7th overall, Max Crosby's overperformed. But if we're, again, putting this relative to the rest of the league, Josh Allen is pretty darn good. And pretty productive and worth a deal, in my estimation, if Max Crosby is too.
But see, here's the thing, though, and this is why I try to bring up, we should focus more on where these guys were drafted. Because with Max Crosby, when you put up 10 sacks your rookie year, which is phenomenal, 7 sacks and 8 sacks, but all the while, in terms of, quarterback pressures and just an overall defensive end / edge rusher has been performing at a very, very high level. where he was drafted, he's not making the money that dictates the performance. So in that case, you had to expedite that process just because, hey, we can't justify paying this guy when he's drafted, third round?
I hear you.
It was third round? Yeah. We can't we can't constitute paying this guy third round money when he's, number one, a team captain, and number two, the leader of our defense. It's hard to justify that after 3 years. So to me, that expedites the process in terms of we got to get this guy a new contract just because look at how much he's just outperformed his original contract.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there. And so what I was really looking at is the money-wise is that 5 years, $136 million. That's what he's projected to get, by the way. Wow, that's a lot, right? I mean, that's like some $27.5 million a year at that position. I think the Bosas have kind of reset that too, Joey Bosa especially. But if that's what he's projected to get, see, my point, Austin, is, well, maybe you don't have to spend $27.5 million a year on Josh Allen. You might have to next year if he goes and gets 12, 13, 14 sacks. But this year, you might be able to get 5 years, $115 million.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a good deal for the team, and it's a good deal for Josh because, quite frankly, I'm not sure he's earned 136.
Well, no, for sure. But see, that's the biggest thing right now is, once again, I think the way I'm looking at this is this is a first-round pick. If we're talking about a fourth-round pick or a fifth-round pick, and he comes out with 10.5 sacks his first year, we're all about that. We're on board. Yeah, we have a diamond in the rough there in the fourth or fifth round. But then you see 2.5, and then you see 7.5 this past season. But, once again, you just got the sense that he underachieved a little bit. Well, then you see where he was drafted, and it wasn't the fourth or fifth round. It was a first-round pick, top 10. And now you're like, I mean, yeah, we need him here, but, like, at what cost? Like, do we take the gamble right now? I think that's a viable thing that's taking place in that building.
Yeah, and I understand that, Austin, but it's a little bit like my questions I raise. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's my questions I raise about if you have the number one pick in the draft, should you just pick the best damn player in the draft? Like, does he have to be a left tackle? Right? Does he have to be a pass rusher? And, again, you can debate it all around. What I would say about Josh being picked 7th overall is that shouldn't matter to Peterson and Balke. They didn't do it. If Caldwell was still here, if that regime was still here, it might matter more to them. But I'm not sure it should. If your idea is to keep good players that you drafted or the franchise drafted and develop them and keep them, well, Josh Allen fits that. And I just think it makes a lot of sense and could really do wonders inside your building, too, because you've talked about it. We've talked about that. What does the money say? What does it say to those guys? Is it better to do that than bring somebody in from the outside for, like, a Hassan Reddick? That's going to instantaneously make more than Josh Allen's making, even though Allen has meant more to this football team in that building.
I hear you, but then why not play Dwayne Smoot then as well? Because Dwayne Smoot has 17.5 sacks his past 3 seasons, and Josh Allen, I believe, has 19 or 20 his past 3 seasons.
Yeah, what?
So then,
what is he? Didn't they pay him?
But I'm saying, but then why wouldn't like Dwayne Smoot make like more money then? Because I mean, I think they did pay him, but it's not like a crazy contract.
Yeah, I don't
you know what I'm
think it is
saying?
either.
I mean, no, not at all.
Yeah, he might fit your Max Crosby. But do you see the? Let me ask you.
But
this,
he's had 17.5 sacks the past 3 years.
Yeah, and does he play more games? And also, do you see a ceiling? See, the difference is you see more out of Josh Allen. You think he can get 12, 15. I'm not sure anybody sees that out of Dwayne Smoot. Maybe they do, and then maybe they should pay more. But that's a fair point. I mean, it's a good question. If I was Dwayne Smoot's agent, I'd be asking that.
No, for sure.
Smoot's interesting because they've really moved – they've – like even last year, he was playing some from the inside. Well, not this past year, 2 years ago.
Yeah. No,
so he was
everywhere.
picking up some of those sacks on the inside too, which again, you can make the case makes you more valuable. You can move different spots.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what they did, I just want to get that out there. 2 years, $10 million contract with the Jags, so very, very minimal.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a 27-year-old guy. Now Josh Allen's 24-year-old guy, so there's a little difference there, but not much. So maybe that should be talked about a little bit more too. A guy like Smoot.
I mean, I think it warrants discussion, but like I said, I just think that, with Josh Allen, could you pay him right now? Absolutely. But I think where he was drafted and what the numbers show, and maybe even more importantly, what the film shows, is going to dictate exactly how much money he's going to make, number one, and number two, possibly when they do pull that trigger.
I got you. All right, we'll be back live from the Players' Championship, give you an update on the leaderboard. How much more golf can they get in? An hour to go until we probably run out of daylight. Action Sports Jacks at the Players here on a Thursday, opening round of the 2022 Players' Championship.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly cloudy and mild tonight. A brief isolated shower this evening, and then rain and storms increasing again late tonight and continuing on and off into Friday with some heavy downpours. In the mid-60s tonight, in the low to mid-70s tomorrow, the showers and storms diminishing in the afternoon. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Don't make a $1,000 mistake. Compare. Shop Beard's Diamonds.
If you've been involved in a slip and fall accident and are not sure what to do, call me, Glenn Levine, at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000, and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Since 1984, the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation has protected and enhanced over 7 million acres of wildlife habitat. They also support conservation education programs and help restore wild elk herds. They've helped open access to over 500,000 acres for public hunting and recreation. Join the Northeast Florida chapter of the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation for their annual Big Game Banquet, Saturday, April 23rd at the Prime Osborne Convention Center. Doors open at 5. To register or for more information, call Jay Booker at 904-669-3883.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 7730 at checkout. That's harrys.com. Code 7730. Enjoy!
When you're in the mood for love, but you have ED or PE, have you tried those little blue pills? Have they let you down? Have they left you more frustrated? The answer isn't more blue pills with awful side effects. The answer is a private consultation with a specialist in men's health at Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Rabinski. If you're not the man you used to be in the bedroom and Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center offers custom blended medications. There's no pain and no surgery. Even men who have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And it's affordable.
Men, if you want to last longer in the bedroom without little blue pills, schedule a private consultation at Prime Men's Medical Center. We guarantee you'll see results on your first visit or your exam is free. Call 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
This is Robert Palmer, president of RP Funding, and we've paid over $80 million in closing costs. Visit rpfunding.com to see how much we'll pay for your refinance. Or call 855-773-8634.
Terms and conditions apply. Unless 7168 equal housing.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today on Hey Culligan, soft water, cleaner environment. What do you say, Greg?
Hey Culligan, are you saying if I have a Culligan high-efficiency water softener, I'm also helping the environment?
It sounds like you're saying it, Greg, and yes, you are, because with the Culligan high-efficiency water softener, you'll use less detergent, soap, and harsh chemicals, and that's good for the planet.
Now you're saying it.
You bet I am, Greg. Soft water and a cleaner environment is already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
O'Reilly
O'Reilly Auto Parts has what you need to keep your engine performing at its best. Our professional parts people will help you select the right products for your vehicle and your budget. Like 5 quarts of Castrol GTX conventional oil and a MicroGuard filter, just $28.99. Save money on your next oil change. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 7730 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 7730. Enjoy.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
This is it. I thought Indy was it, but now this is clearly it. Carson Wentz's lot in life will be to be a backup quarterback for the rest of his career if this doesn't go well. And I think this, the deck is stacked against him right now based on the team he's going to and some of the other circumstances.
That is Mike Greenberg talking about Carson Wentz as how will he do with the Washington Commanders? We will see. Brent Martin live at TPC Sawgrass Players Championship. And, well, the lead is Tommy Fleetwood, 6 under par. Kramer Hickok, who? Look him up. Google him. 5 under par. Keith Mitchell, 5 under par, 1 off. Oh, Casey, you should have picked Keith this week.
Yep.
Yup. He picked them last week at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Your guy, Cameron Champ, is even par, Austin, so you're okay.
Yeah.
And this week's pick for Casey, Gary Woodland, 1 under par. This was better fishing weather than golfing weather for the most part today. Let's bring in Captain Rick, Florida Sportsman Fishing Report. Captain Rick, what a weekend we're in store for. This weather is all over the place.
Woo, it's going to be wild, I'll tell you. Now, as far as the rain is concerned, the fish could care less because they're already wet. But the fishermen, not so much. We've had all kinds of weather today. Woke up to a stout wind this morning, and then came the rain. And now we're looking at a dead calm, beautiful evening. It's going to last till about 1 or 2 a.m., and then the rain starts again. Not supposed to have a single minute without rain tomorrow. So not going to probably be a whole lot of fishing going on. That rain will certainly dirty the waters inshore and make them muddy. Now, today was pretty good inshore. The guys that got up in the creeks and got out of the wind and the rain a little bit did pretty well on flounder, redfish, and drum, which was a surprise to me. Nobody made it offshore. Nobody's going to make it offshore for the whole weekend. We can pretty well count on that. I think the best thing going is going to be fishing for reds in the creeks, and when we get breaks in this wind, it'll be a good time to start throwing surface lures for trout. It is time for their spawn to begin. But one thing you can make sure of, we'll be back to check on that weather situation tomorrow with another fishing report brought to you by Workman's Quick Fix Plumbing and CSS Landscaping. Thank you, Brent.
Thanks, Captain Rick. Appreciate it. Florida Sportsman Fishing Report each and every day. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Saturday morning, 7 a.m. Catch the show on ESPN 690. Captain Rick was texting me earlier about that Florida Gators loss, and that leads us to our 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center back-breaking, neck-aching play of the week. It just happened today. How about a buzzer beater by Texas A&M to beat Florida in the SEC tournament, 83-80 in overtime. The Gators had made a furious rally, and instead it was Texas A&M that would win it on a last-second shot. Very entertaining game down the stretch of regulation and in OT, but Mike White's team likely to miss the NCAA tournament. That is your back-breaking, neck-aching play of the week. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, brought to you by 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. And go see Rhett and his team. They have 3 locations now, South Side, the newest location on the west side, and down in St. Augustine. All you have to do is look up 904chiro.com, 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. They can help you. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz. Casey, you're a Gator guy. Real quick thought on Mike White and the Gators. Mike White, are you tired of him? Are you done with him? They're likely going to miss the tournament? Or has he had tough luck with the whole Keontae Johnson situation? Even Castleton wasn't healthy this year at times. I'm an okay Mike White fan. I'm not an apologist for him, but how do you feel about it?
I single-handedly stopped watching Florida basketball due to Mike White. Probably never coming back. I've never been more frustrated in anything than Florida basketball, and I don't even love basketball like that. They just make me so infuriating over the last couple of years, so I stopped watching them. So, yeah, I'd probably let him go if I was Florida, but, you know, that's like the only thing Florida will hang on to. Dan Mullen went to an SEC championship. They fired him. Mike White's never done anything good, and he's still has a job.
He did go. He went. Where was I? Was that the Elite Eight that he went to?
Oh, yeah, so he was one of the best 8 teams. Nice.
I mean, you go to Elite Eight, pretty good. Problem is you're trying
you're elite.
You're elite. You're trying to win on Billy D. Court. I mean, I think I don't know. I like Mike White. I will say I looked at him today on TV when we were watching the end of that game. He had like this black pullover on. And at first I was like, is that Mike White or is that one of the officials? He actually looks like a guy he looks like an official more than he looks like a coach.
That's for sure.
If an official has a look.
It's not a compliment.
Mike White looks like an official. I really like Mike White. I think he's I mean, I don't. Obviously, he's not great, right? He's not bringing these guys to the upper echelon of the SEC or knocking down and cutting nets each year. I think he could do worse, though, and that's the fear when you fire a guy. We'll see. Maybe Ole Miss will take him. He'll go back there, and then you get off your hands.
Please,
for
please,
Florida Gator fans.
Please go ahead.
All
Anywhere.
Right. That's our NCAA tournament, by the way. We got the brackets coming out on Sunday. Y'all ready for that? I hope so.
Did Providence win today?
Providence did. They were down 59-58 with a minute to play. And
I was watching that game a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, Providence knows how to win late, man.
Yeah, they're like those nail biters, don't they?
Oh, yeah. They're just not good enough to, they're not going to dominate. They're not going to Gonzaga you.
Yeah, sure.
But they know how to win close games, and now they believe. I was like, oh, man, they're going to lose in the Big East tournament. The Butler, 9 seed. Butler usually good, but they're not great this year.
Yeah.
And they pulled it out. They won 65-61. Hey, we were talking about Josh Allen. Dan jumps in and says, if Allen's value is at an all-time low, I'm not sure why his agent would advise him to sign a deal versus make $15.8 million in 2023, no matter what he does this year, meaning that's what he would get with a 5th-year option. Mm-hmm. I think that's a pretty good point, but if I offered you a 5-year, I don't know, $110 million deal, and I'm going to give you $55 million guaranteed, or you can have 15.8 and 23. What are you taking?
No, I mean, players, and this is why players hit the franchise tag and probably why Cam Robinson's a little upset right now because players want, they want that big signing bonus, they want the money up front, but they also want the longevity because as soon as you get hurt, your entire career can change. Nothing's guaranteed. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's all about the long game here, Brent, in terms of a contract.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's a good point. I understand the perspective of that, but listen, just as much as the team might be gambling and projecting, you are too as a player and agent. You're taking a risk as well. And this day and age, I think there's so much power with the player that if he signs a contract and does just a tremendous job, he can kick and complain until he gets a new one and they rip it up.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way it works anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So if he outperforms it in 3 years, just go do another one.
Yeah.
Or say, I want out of here.
No, for sure.
Seriously, the player, there's really no risk, I don't think, anymore for a player signing a deal. Because if they're good enough and they outperform it, they certainly, it has been shown, can do that if they're good enough for that. Let's get South Beach Gary on the line. Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. What's happening today, South Beach Gary?
How you doing, guys? Did my Kings win today, Brent?
No idea. Let me check for you.
What are they, like the 9 seed in this tournament?
No, come on, Austin.
I'm kidding, man. I'm
they
kidding.
They were 4th in the ACC.
I'm kidding.
Jim Larinaga, baby. I'm checking for you. Yeah, they won 71-69. Took overtime to beat Boston College.
little nail biter with Boston College?
Hey, just win, baby.
Hey, with Boston College? Is they still playing basketball over there?
Hey, guys, how aggressive are the Jags actually going to be opening day? Are they going to make a big splash, sign some Tier 1 free agents, and would they make the investment? I heard Allen Robinson, 5 years, $90 million, $50 million guaranteed. Would they make that leap, or would they go for a Jarvis Landry or a Christian Kirk? How big a splash is Doug Peterson going to be, considering Trent Baalke and the value of free agents? How big an impact is Doug Peterson going to be in this process? Thanks, guys.
Thanks, South Beach Gary. It's a good question. I didn't hear that number, or maybe I just didn't see that number for Allen. Good for him if that's the number. I mean, he's really coming off a subpar year. I don't think it's risky because I've seen him do enough. I think we know who Allen is. And so I think if you think that's worth what you're going to get, I think Allen's going to give you that, quite frankly. But when you start bringing Christian Kirk into play in the style like we talked about the other day, it makes you wonder a little bit. All right, maybe take a flyer on that instead. That's something you don't have here on the Jacksonville offense. And most importantly, what South Beach Gary just said, whatever you do, just like we talk about Josh Allen, what it might say to the locker room, Austin, don't they have to do something on that side of the ball for Trevor Lawrence? Don't they have to make a play early in this free agency period and a splash to say, Trevor, we are helping you out?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you can be Doug Peterson, be a former quarterback yourself, be an offensive guru coming from the Andy Reid coaching tree. I don't know how you can come in here with a special guy like Trevor Lawrence and say, yeah, we're all set. We're going to be good, man. Don't worry about it. Like, no, I mean, it's all about first impressions. And like, yeah, I understand. I'm sure that they've talked a little bit, on the phone about what's going to be expected and, starting talking about the game plan and all this stuff and then the offensive terminology. They've had those conversations. But, like, trust doesn't happen overnight. The trust between a player and a coach just doesn't happen over a couple meetings. Actions speak louder than words. And I think a great way that Doug Peterson can earn that trust of Trevor Lawrence is saying, hey, man, we're giving you everything that you need to succeed. Here's a wide receiver. Here's a tight end. Maybe here's an offensive lineman. We got your back. It's going to be something special. Trust me on this. And time will tell if that happens or not.
Yeah, and I do think this is if your organization wants to fix it, flip it, get it right, not only do you go get good players because you need good players, but telling Trevor Lawrence we're helping you out as much as we can after we failed you last year in every respect possible, telling the locker room we're doing it this way because it's the right way, it's going to make us better, those things maybe matter more now than ever here in Jacksonville. They should have mattered. They did matter. Be honest with you, I think Caldwell and guys like that, they did some of that. They did that for Allen Hurns. I think they did that a little bit with a Miles Jack. I can give you some other examples. So it's not like they didn't try to do it. But it feels like now they almost have to do it. And some of these moves, listen, Trent Baalke said, he's like, we're spending Shad's money. Well, then you better spend it. We're going to get more weapons. We're going to keep our second-year contract guys. Well, then you better do it. If that's what you're saying, do it. That's all I ever ask. Mm-hmm. If you're going to preach it, then do it. Yeah. And you can't guarantee they're going to win and all this stuff, but you can guarantee that you're going to try like hell to do what you say. And so we'll see if the Jacksonville Jaguars do that. And don't forget about Trevor Lawrence and all of this. How he feels, I think that matters coming off that rookie season for sure. Let's put a bow on it from the Players' Championship. I do want to, you brought up Cam Robinson again. We'll just revisit that tweet. Is there anything involved in that tweet? What does it mean for Cam Robinson and the Jacksonville Jaguars? How's that going to end? And all the trades in the NFL. Is there any chance the Jags make a splash trade? It's 3 straight days of crazy trades. Could the Jags be next? Let's talk about it. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, live from the Players' Championship. Most of us get back pain and neck pain too. Maybe you have an injury or you're trying to prevent an injury. 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center can help you. I just got an adjustment with Rhett and his team last week. I got massage therapy, too. It works. It doesn't matter where you are in town. There is a 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center near you on the south side in St. Augustine and the newest location on the west side. If you've had personal injury due to an accident, look up 904chiro.com. Take care of you with 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center.
This is Robert Palmer, president of RP Funding. With home values at an all-time high, it's a great time to turn your home equity into cash and get a closing cost credit from RP Funding. Call 855-773-8634.
Terms and conditions apply. We must 7168 equal housing.
The Big Ten is up, and you know what that means. Get ready, get set, go to Arlington Toyota for the Ready, Set, Go event going on now. Leave it to our friends over at Arlington to have over 500 new Toyotas available with inventory arriving daily. You also get a lifetime warranty plus 30 days to love your new purchase or exchange it. And with 4.7 out of 5 stars and over 14,000 Google reviews, you know you'll be one happy customer. Don't wait. Shop the Ready, Set, Go event in Arlington's state-of-the-art showroom or online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin-tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Smoke for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue, and it is at Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Open 7 days a week. Try the smoked wings, southern sides, and big old platters. Trivia night and kids eat free specials during the week. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all events. Order online and skip the line. Visit williejewels.com to see other locations in Florida and Georgia, Yulee to St. Augustine, Brunswick, and Kingsland. Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Smoke for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jewell's.
By now, you've heard all of our ads. America's largest injury law firm. It means that when you hire us, you get a legal army. When it comes to law, size matters. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Millions of people use Zoom Phone, the innovative and feature-rich cloud phone system for businesses of any size. Zoom Phone is simple to use, whether you're on a mobile device, desktop, laptop, or desk phone. And because every call is important to your business, Zoom Phone was built with reliability in mind, using geographic redundancy to keep your communications online. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Visit zoom.com/phone system. Zoom, how the world connects.
Your happiest spring starts with Lowe's, and it all starts with a beautiful green lawn. Get it growing with Scott's Triple Action Lawn Fertilizer, starting at $29.98. And keep it clean with the Craftsman 20-volt mower with free blower for only $2.99. That's a big value for a beautiful entrance. Create a season full of happiness. Lowe's, home to any budget, home to any possibility. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, about 310 through 316. U.S. only. Scott's offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Finding the right person for the job isn't easy. Just ask someone who hired a lounge singer to be their office receptionist.
Hello, this is Mickey Marquis, and you've reached the office of Doug & Associates. Thank you very much. Catch me Tuesday nights at the Hotel Johnson. Hello?
But if you've got an insurance question, you can always count on your local Geico agent. They can bundle your policies, which could save you hundreds.
Doug & Associates, this is Mickey Marquis. Hello?
For expert help with all your insurance needs, visit geico.com/local today.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless. Now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Okay, so we got the chorizo dumplings, the cucumber empanadas.
Zara's food truck is popping off.
Come on, guys, let's pick it up, all right?
But if she doesn't find a new chef, her truck will be stuck.
Carl quit this morning, so Jessica, I'm gonna need you on the fryer.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
It's been an emotional ride. Did I get sleep last night? No. But I love teaching. I love coaching. I love being here. I miss being with my guys. And yesterday, I got an opportunity to sit in front of the media and see some familiar faces that I hadn't seen in 2 weeks. And I thought that was great, just to be back and enjoy and take all those questions and get that connection back. But now it's roll up our sleeves, stay dialed into the competition, and continue to grow.
Is that Juwan Howard?
Yeah.
They lost, right?
They lost. They're done. It's over. But that's one of those things about the sound. When there's none of it, when nobody's speaking, you got to play sound from pregame Juwan Howard because there's no postgame. Like, hey,
That's
what
crazy.
happened?
Nobody's talking anywhere, huh?
Yeah, nobody.
I just saw this tweet, guys. Guaranteed $1 million or a coin flip to win $1 billion. What are you taking?
Whew. I'll take the $1 million.
I think I would too.
Casey?
Coin flip, 100%.
Yeah?
Yeah, oh yeah.
But then how mad would you be if you get nothing?
Oh, I jump off a bridge.
Okay.
I'm jumping.
All right. All right. Just make sure it's high enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a belly flop.
I was waiting for somebody to ask, like, do I have to pay taxes?
Oh, yeah, there's that too.
Hey, but at least, listen, if you guarantee and take the $1 million, it will cover your next gas fill up.
No, who you telling?
That's a good call.
Who you telling?
I don't know. That's a great. I love that question.
I
though.
figured.
I love that
I don't
stuff.
what do I need $1 billion for?
I know. See, that's a great thing. I had this discussion one time with Ty when he was like 12.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like, he's like, all right, so what would you do if you had, like, I think we were talking about one of those big lotteries. And I was like, well, I'd get an RV. I'd pay off the house.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably, I would, give some to blah, 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 blah. And I'd probably go buy a big house at the beach.
Sure.
And he's like, well, why do you need a house at the beach? I was like, so we could have a house at the beach. He's like, well, we're 20 minutes from the beach.
Yeah. No, it's a solid point.
I was like, all right, we're not buying a house.
Right.
I guess I don't need that much then.
Scratch that. Yep.
It was so funny. Simple Ty. But I like that question a lot. I really do. Hey, do you read anything to Cam Robinson today on Twitter?
Oh, yeah.
Is he taking notes or is he going to sign?
Or
both?
Yeah. I mean, I think he's going to sign eventually. He almost has to. But it's a circumstance where the player is not happy that they get franchise tagged. And I don't think any player in the league, it's money up front, and you're pumped up about that. But players love the longevity. Players love, like I always say, Brent, I'll say it again. It's not what the money says. It's not about how much money you make. It's what the money says. And the franchise tag says, we like you, but do we love you? We like you, but we're just going to kind of deal with you and see what happens.
Yeah.
So I assume he's kind of frustrated right now. Now, we'll see if they work out a deal or not, but right now, not that happy.
I think if you go back a couple of years ago, Austin, Cam was on the brink of, I'm not sure what his future in the NFL was. Now you look at it, he's made like $30 million over the last 2 years. That's not bad.
No, it's not bad. But still, if you look at the high-priced free agents of left tackles, what they make, it's a lot more than that.
Yeah. Hey, quick swoop minute here. UNFospreys.com to read more about it, but I want to mention they had their Giving Day. Remember, we had Nick Morrow on earlier in the week. They raised a record amount in 2022. North Florida Athletics raised over $300,000, more than 1,000 donors, so they wanted to make sure they thanked everybody in the area for participating and contributing to UNF Athletics. UNFospreys.com for more information on all the athletics. Right now, UNF softball is 19-5. They have won by shutout in 9 of the last 10 games.
Wow.
That is crazy. They've won 11 straight games and hardly given up a run. So really incredible run right now for UNF softball. UNFospreys.com for more information on Ospreys athletics. Hey, we've seen trade after trade after trade in the NFL the last 3 days. Any chance we see a mega trade involving anyone from the Jags? Miles Jack?
If I was going to make a prediction, I would say the Jaguars are going to trade either Juwan Taylor or Andrew Norwell to the Minnesota Vikings for Eric Kendricks.
What the heck?
Just saying.
Did it just happen or something?
You've been thinking about it. Or it just happened, one of the two.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't happen.
Oh.
No, I'm just, I've been, you asked the question, I answered it.
Yeah, you did.
What do you?
You're like
You
playing
did.
Madden, though. You like know exactly what it takes to get the deal done.
I know.
Well, no, I mean, I just, knowing
I didn't
what
expect that.
No, knowing what I know, that's what I would say.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, now I can't wait till the show tomorrow, 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. We'll be live from the Players once again, TPC Sawgrass. And by the way, we just set you up for a conversation piece if you want it, Casey and Brian Middleton. Action Sports Shacks OT coming up.
Yeah, might take it. I also have another story from the wedding I forgot to tell you guys, but I'll tell Brian.
Hey, Austin, he's a big timer now.
Saving it
He
for the
saved
exclusive
it. He saved
content.
it. We
Okay.
call that in the Action Sports Shacks department, mostly on the TV side, we call that selfish ambition.
Yeah, well, speaking
Hashtag
of
selfish ambition.
Selfish ambition.
And
1 hour
sometimes you
golf
got-
talk today, so yeah, selfish
sometimes
ambition.
you gotta have a little
1
bit of
hour
that.
golf talk to start the show off.
Action Sports Shacks, Dream18.com, by the way, if you want to purchase a Dream 18 card. It's only $59. $10 discount this week. Selfish ambition. That's not really. That's for charities and everything else. So, Tommy Fleetwood, 6 under par, leads the Players' Championship. No way they'll finish the first round. Hopefully the rain holds off tomorrow, and we will be back here at TPC Sawgrass. Have a good show coming up, Casey. Brian Middleton, Action Sports Shacks OT, right after this, and I'll see you on TV all night long, CBS 47 and Fox 30.
Now is the time to get an estimate on replacement windows. American Window Products of Jacksonville is a high-volume dealer offering a huge selection of products to keep your costs low. New windows from American Window Products can lower your energy costs and increase your curb appeal and security, all without breaking the bank. Call American Window Products for a free estimate at 904-667-0873 or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
If you've been involved in a car accident, call me, Mark Anajar, at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. And take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
It's that time of year we get to watch the best players in the world in our own backyard. Catch some of the Players' Championship fever with golf fever of your own. Save an extra $10 on the Dream 18 card this week at Action Sports Shacks, Dream18.com. Play a lot of golf, just don't pay full price to play a lot of golf. Order the 2022 Dream 18 card this week for just $59. Golf courses have raised their rates, so you can save a lot while you play with the Dream 18 card at courses like Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, The Yards, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. This week, it's just $59 for the Dream 18 card. That's it. And some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Shacks, Dream18.com.
The Big Ten is up, and you know what that means. Get ready, get set, go to Arlington Toyota for the Ready, Set, Go event going on now. Leave it to our friends over at Arlington to have over 500 new Toyotas available with inventory arriving daily. You also get a lifetime warranty plus 30 days to love your new purchase or exchange it. And with 4.7 out of 5 stars and over 14,000 Google reviews, you know you'll be one happy customer. Don't wait. Shop the Ready, Set, Go event in Arlington's state-of-the-art showroom or online at Arlington ArlingtonToyota.com today.
This is Robert Palmer, president of RP Funding. With home values at an all-time high, it's a great time to turn your home equity into the cash you need and get a closing cost credit from RP Funding. Visit rpfunding.com.
Terms and conditions apply. Unless 7168 equal housing.
Koala Insulation.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise, as will your utility bills. Call us today and take advantage of our fall prices. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant Cash Offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, KBB.com.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
I think we're back, Brian Middleton. I think we're back. I returned. Brian Middleton held it down without me. I'm back. Missed a couple of shows. All good. We call it Action Sports Jacks Overtime. We're at full strength. There was a show there a couple weeks ago. We were lacking one. Monday, we were lacking in a different one. We're back at full strength. How about that? Brian Middleton, what's up with you, man? Haven't seen you, haven't talked to you. We texted. How you been? How'd you hold it down without me? How'd it go? Just tell me everything.
I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, I can't complain. I don't think that they had a complaint either, so I don't know, but they were counting down the days each day.
Well, they did tell me about some stuff. But
each day, Brent would make sure to thank me for my service and also say, Casey Kurtz will be back soon. I was like, thanks for the opportunity, Brent. I get it, man. I get it, right? They need the original three. There's something different. It hits different when you have the original members. It's like when you watch one of these other shows like First Take or whatever other debate show before, Stephen A. ran somebody off. When they had like the three people there that you absolutely knew, I believe it was Max Kellerman. When one of them were gone or both of them were gone, you just had like Molly or somebody. You're just like, JV team, B team, even though they had a couple of stars there. Yeah. I mean, they filled in, the show happened, they talked about sports, but it wasn't quite right. And so I get it, man. They were missing their third piece. They were missing the completion of the trio. Right. And that's okay.
That's true.
But I don't think they could really complain outside of what happened on Friday, but that was like a whole event for 98% of the building. So
what happened on Friday?
It lost audio. Like 8 stations did.
We're a radio station.
Yeah, except for WAPE and I think
that's ironic.
Easy.
That's really ironic.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's wild.
Well, I guess that's what you got to do when you got to win the ratings.
But your predecessor came in and handled everything. He's putting out fires left and right on Friday, so I'm surprised I didn't tell you about that. It was like 10 minutes. It was in the middle of an interview with Jared Rice.
Oh, from the players, obviously.
Yeah, and so the stream was working fine, but you couldn't hear anything. And I was here texting Brent. I was in the talkback, but the board wasn't working. I didn't realize that he probably couldn't hear me because the board wasn't doing anything.
Oh, true.
And so I was texting him, and we made it work, though.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that is something that happened that nobody told me about, but that's okay.
You were getting married.
I'm not surprised. I literally, on Friday around that time, I was not married yet, but I was doing some things.
The process.
It's the process.
Whatever that is, whatever that's like.
So, we got a lot to do, a lot of catching up to do. Me and Brian Middleton here on Overtime on ESPN 690. There's sports that we should probably talk about. There's wedding stuff we can talk about. I have some beef with South Carolina. Brian Middleton holds that place close to his heart. But I have some beef with the whole entire state, not just parts, but all of it together. But this is a sports program, so we'll do some of that as well. You mentioned Jared Rice. The Players' Championship is underway. There was some rainy conditions earlier today. They played a little bit of golf in the morning time after the tee times were originally delayed. They then got some golf in. They then took a pause for about 4.5 hours, and they are now on the course. Most of the morning wave is wrapping up. Rory McIlroy just teed off moments before the show started. He was in the afternoon wave. So the situation is this: a lot of guys on one, a lot of guys, a handful of guys have not even teed off yet and will not tee off tonight. Likely in that group would be some former Players Champions, including Siwoo Kim, Matt Kuchar, and Henrik Stenson. So it's going to be tough to get the Players Championship in its regular format. You're almost guaranteed an extra day, possibly Monday. And the real question will be what happens with the weather tomorrow. If you listen to Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690, which I assume you did right before us, but if you're just jumping in your car, I'll tell you what happened. Captain Rick Riles, Florida Sportsman Fishing Report, said it's going to rain all day tomorrow. Now, I know Captain Rick's not a meteorologist, but he is a fisherman, and they seem to know what's going on with the weather. So if it does rain all day tomorrow, obviously check with Mike Burrish on TV, Action News Jax. But if it does rain all day tomorrow, what will happen for the guys that haven't even played golf yet that still have another round to play? So there's a lot going on with the Players Championship. Either way, Brent Martineau will be there. I said, Brent, if it's raining, are you going to be there? He said, rain, sleet, snow, hail, I'll be out here. I said, okay. That sounds like a poor business decision, but nevertheless, Brent will be out there. I'll be here. We'll be breaking down what's happening. So that's what's going on with the Players Championship. Your leader right now in the clubhouse is Tommy Fleetwood. You know his nickname, Brian Middleton? You know what they call that man?
Talking about Thomas Paul Fleetwood, England's favorite son?
Yeah. Do you know what his nickname is?
No, what's his nickname?
They call him Fairway Jesus.
Oh, I can see it.
Because he has he shaved. He doesn't have the beard now.
Yeah, I saw people tweeting about that.
Yeah, he used to. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't like it. He used to have shirts that made him look like Jesus. It was pretty cool. I don't think he had him. I think they were just some bum
making money off of it.
Yeah. Which it was cool. I liked him. I almost bought one. But nevertheless, Tommy Fleetwood leads the Players Championship. Tommy Fleetwood has never won in the United States of America. 5-time winner on the European Tour. Kramer Hickok, Keith Mitchell tied for second. Brian Harmon, Joaquim Neiman, Tom Hogue in fourth, a cluster of guys in seventh, and you continue on the board. But the leader is in the clubhouse at 6 under par, and that is Tommy Fleetwood. So we got that going on in the city. We got March Madness all around us. The Florida Gators are done.
The Baylor Bears!
Hey, the boys. Listen, let me ask you this. Are the Baylor Bears, underrated at everything? Like football, nobody gave them the respect they deserve. Basketball, they're pretty good. Are we sleeping on the Baylor Bears?
I don't think so.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. I don't think so. The answer is no.
Oh, okay. Well,
you're definitely not one. You got enough momentum and energy for Baylor for someone who didn't attend, has no family members either playing on any of the teams. I mean, I don't even I have no idea what your tie is to the Baylor Bears, the University of Baylor, Baylor University. I don't even know the order of how you say the actual school's name, man, but your energy from them is enough for the state of Florida. So I'm pretty sure that there's one Casey Kurtz in each state. So, Baylor's getting their just due.
Yeah, no, that's fair. By the way, the number 2 seeded Baylor Bears in the Big 12 tournament, they go tonight against Oklahoma. So, that'll probably be a W for the Baylor Bears. Sorry to the boy, Corey Sima. But nevertheless, we got the March Madness going on. The Gators are out. The Florida State Seminoles are out. We move on. JU got absolutely hosed, by the way. Do you know how that went down, or do you want me to explain it to you?
Talking about the men's game?
Just okay, yeah.
You're talking about in the ASUN conference?
Yeah, how they don't get to go, but neither does the winner. So here's what happened.
Yeah.
Bellarmine, the ASUN champs, are in a transition period from D1 to D2. And you have to sit out for 4 years, more or less. So this is year 2. So they win the ASUN championship, and they cannot go to the big dance, the big tournament, because they're not eligible because of the 4-year transition I just said. Okay. So in theory, Brian Middleton, who would you think would take the ASUN's bid?
The Dolphins of Jacksonville University.
I would think so, too, because they played for the ASUN championship.
Yeah.
And they lost, but, it is what it is. So I would think, you know what? They would get that bid. They're the second-best team. They ran through the tournament. No. No, sir, Brian Middleton. It will instead be the regular season champion, Jacksonville State, whatever they are.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I'm telling you, Chuck, it's terrible. How does that even happen? That's just so not right. Like, I don't understand the logic. Like, the regular season, like, I understand the regular season is supposed to mean something. That's fine. But the day before, literally the day before, 24 hours earlier, JU beat Jacksonville State to play in the A-Sun championship game. So how does that – you just got to make it make sense. And to me, that doesn't make sense. And personally, I agree with Chuck on this one. That's terrible. Brian Middleton, I'm sure you guys talked about it, but we haven't talked about it. You hate that, right? It's just not good.
Yeah, and I think this is just one of those rules that never really comes up, but it's come up before. Somebody had the foresight to at least think about, hey, what if this scenario happens? What would be the most fair? And the perfect storm happened right here. You have a team in Bellarmine transitioning from a different division, so they have a set of rules, and that coincides with the set of rules that are already set for this particular D1 conference. It's sucky. You think that somebody would just have the right or the ability just to overrule that, but I don't know if that sets a precedent for everything that happens after that. So it sucks, but technically they're following the letter of the rule, so I guess that's just what you're going to do.
Well, that's still stupid, and that's how I feel about it. So I should have saved that for, like, I said what I said. That's stupid. Anyway,
you can repackage it.
I might repackage it, because you never know. You might not catch the first part of the show. You might catch the last part of the show. But nevertheless, we also got some Lakers basketball to talk about. I got some questions for Brian Middleton on that. We got some Cash It or Trash It. We got some I Said What I Said. We got a lot to do, and we're already 11 and a half minutes in. So we're going to hit this quick break. We'll be right back. Brian Middleton, Casey Kurtz, the band is back together. Action Sports Jacks Overtime, ESPN 690. We'll be right back.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly cloudy and mild tonight. A brief isolated shower this evening, and then rain and storms increasing again late tonight and continuing on and off into Friday with some heavy downpours. In the mid-60s tonight, in the low to mid-70s tomorrow, the showers and storms diminishing in the afternoon. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Before you buy a diamond anywhere, shop Beard's Diamonds.
My sign is a potential customer's first impression, so it needs to be perfect.
It's possible at Staples.
There are 4 other bakeries within 5 blocks of here. My shop needs to stand out.
Also possible. With Staples print and marketing services, small businesses can print big with wide format signs and banners. Right now, get $10 off custom printed signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. Create your sign at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 3/26. Visit staples.com/signage for details.
Dell's semi-annual sale is the perfect opportunity for a significant business upgrade. Save up to 45% on Dell computers with Windows 11 Pro and get an easy start to your workday. Plus, enjoy special pricing on Dell docks, monitors, servers, and more, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today to find the right tech for your business with fast free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone, America's #1 brakes destination. Right now, save 15% when you get any 2 Duralast rotors with a set of Duralast brake pads. It's also AutoZone's national hiring event. We're hiring all positions, from sales to warehouse and drivers, both part-time and full-time. Visit careers.autozone.com or any one of our stores.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
Attorney Joe Cordell. New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. Call Cordell & Cordell. You're not alone.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Jacksonville area attorneys. Offices in Jacksonville and by appointment only in Ponte Vedra Beach. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise, as will your utility bills. Call us today and take advantage of our fall prices. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
In 2022, with the launch of our new Mamba Forever flavor, Body Armor will officially partner with the Mamba and Mambacita Sports Foundation. Together, we'll support youth sports in communities all across the nation, providing resources, guidance, and Body Armor hydration. You can find the Mamba Forever flavor as well as other Body Armor flavors at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Just be confident. Community First makes smarter banking simple so you can relax, knowing you're managing your money the right way. Yours. Visit justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union. Just be yourself. Federally insured by NCUA.
People often ask me, how much money do I have to pay you up front to be my personal lawyer? The answer is nothing. It's free unless we win. What about a slip and fall or car crash case? Free unless we win.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Men suffering from ED or PE? Has Viagra or Cialis let you down? Prime Men's Medical Center is featuring Restore Wave, the latest in non-invasive ED treatment. You'll see results on your first visit or pay nothing. Call 904-618-3497. That's 904-618-3497.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Action Sports Jacks Overtime, ESPN 690. Brian Middleton, Casey Kurtz rocking with you until 7 p.m. We got NBA talk to do because Brian Middleton's here and I'm here, and I got some thoughts. NBA talk turns into NHL talk here in just a second. Big night in the NBA if you're a Nets or 76ers fan, or you just like the drama. So that'll be the third one for me. The drama is what I'm interested in, and we'll get to that in a second. But first, Brian Middleton. Rumor has it. Oh, by the way, I was listening to OT on Monday, right? Brian Middleton was holding it down, doing a good job. I heard some NBA talk with, who are you talking with on the NBA?
It'd be Marcus Wilson.
That's right. So here's the vibe I got from the part I heard. Now, I was doing some stuff, so I wasn't locked in, but I heard that maybe he wasn't a big as LeBron James fan as you are.
Yeah, Marcus, not at all.
Yeah,
not at all.
So my question is, how do we get him on the show more regularly? Because it sounds like he might be pretty intelligent.
He said he'll do it for free.
So that makes three of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the point I'm getting at is that's a smart man. But as we move on, LeBron James.
It's a hard transition right there. You just kind of jumped into that.
What you mean?
You went to the Brent School of Transitioning like yesterday when he was talking about the guy. Or was that earlier? No, it was yesterday when he was talking about the guy throwing up.
Oh, the throw up.
Then he just said, "Are NBA fans the worst?"
Yeah.
That's a great moment. That's a promo moment. I hope that you pull that and spin that somehow.
I didn't, but that's hilarious. I should work on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to find that. I'll do that when I have some free time. Maybe.
Not.
The Lakers lose to the Rockets, who rumor has it are the worst team in the league. How does that happen? Russell Westbrook actually looked like he played okay. In terms of points, but start there. The Lakers lose to the Rockets. It's pretty horrible right now in LA for the Lakers. And your thoughts or concerns for the Lakers are what?
Well, I'll attack the first part of your question first. How did they lose? They scored 9 less points than the Rockets when there was no more time left, after everything was said and done. So that's how they lost the game. It's normally how you lose. Now, what that means for the Lakers, it means that they are still in the play-in if the playoffs started today. And it means that if they have a chance to get into the playoffs and they get a chance to be in the play-in, then they have a shot at winning the title. Those are the only things that means, though. Doesn't mean much more. Westbrook playing well? Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Don't know your actual contract, but I'm pretty sure that's what you're supposed to be doing. But thank you. LeBron with a triple-double, and it just wasn't a great game, and it was still a triple-double. I'm tired of telling people he's the greatest of all time. Like, I'm tired because people just look at it and just like, but he should do more. Mm-hmm. More. Okay, well, that's fine. Cool. But to the original point, the Lakers still within the realms of the play-in part of the playoffs. And if you can get into that, then you have a chance of winning the title. So that's what that means for the Lakers.
Okay, so what Brian Middleton's telling you is the Lakers are doomed, but that's just what he's not saying.
What?
That's what he said, trust me. Trust me, I know this guy pretty well. So, anyway, let's move on to Russell Westbrook part of this. I'm sure you saw this, but if you didn't, Russell Westbrook got upset, more or less, that the fans at home were booing him and calling him West Brick, which I thought was funny, but he didn't, and then proceeded to cite the examples of that his kids shouldn't have to listen to that, which is somewhat fair. But then the part I didn't like is the example that he cited in which people don't come to your job and boo you. That's because most of us don't make $34 million and are entertainers for a living. So overall, when you look at that, what Russell Westbrook said, do you agree with it? Does it make sense to you? Does he have a point? Anything valid from what Russell Westbrook in terms of he doesn't want to be booed at home? That's what I took from it.
Yeah. Everything he said made sense on face value. So if you are talking about you're not doing well at your job, imagine this. You're not doing well at your job.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody who can't go 2 sentences without saying mispronouncing a word and misspeaking about the Players Championship, talking about how, I don't know, I'm just going to get real crazy, how Michael Jordan, should go back and work on his golf game because he could play with these guys, saying something outlandish like that,
Sure.
right? That's what he says, right? Because all he knows is what he sees, and he may have been behind a mic when he was in high school and they would do the announcements. Did your high school do that?
Yep.
And that was the furthest that he or she went in his broadcasting career.
Mm-hmm.
And he has the audacity that, let's say that he's a fan of ESPN 690 and you were on a remote, you were at TPC, and you just didn't have your best day. You didn't have a great take. You were stuttering every now and then. It wasn't your great take, but you got through it, but it wasn't your best performance. And he has the audacity to boo you, or at least be like, you need to be better. Or, you know what? The Kurt's curse. I joke by saying that, but what if they said that in a malicious way?
Uh-huh.
And they just kept doing it. And your new bride was there.
Yeah.
And they were saying it to the point where they were saying it to her, and they were including her on it.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be a little upset. So I get that. Now, the point of somebody making $30 or $40 or $50 million, forget all that. There's an element of respect that needs to be there. Now, I'm all for the element of fans being involved. We've just had the past 2 years of a pandemic, Casey, where a lot of these sporting events, we didn't have fans in the beginning. They let it back with limited capacity, and you could feel the difference. Mm-hmm. I'm so happy. Before the Calvin Ridley stuff that happened on Monday, I had a whole thing prepared talking about how I'm so happy about the TBC being back at full attendance, what it means to the fans, what the fans mean to the event. So I like the fact that fans can get in the stadium and can boo. Because, hey, listen, if someone's not performing and they're your team, that's your team, like, you get to express that. But there's always an element of respect and decorum that should be there. Because this is my thing. Mm-hmm. If you weren't saying to his face,
sure,
in a closed-off room with no cops involved, then you shouldn't say that here. You could be like, oh, you suck. You bricked that shot. I mean, not West Brick, but you bricked that shot. Like you said, get him out of there. You would say that in someone's faces. You would think that at the very least what they would probably say back, like, you don't know what you're talking about. But when you start getting a little bit further and crossing the line a little bit more and a little bit more, yeah, you need to watch your mouth. You need to watch your mouth, because if I get up in here, it might be Malice in the Palace Part 2, and you don't want that, do you? Then you're going to be crying. Then you're going to want the cops involved. Then it's going to be like, oh, you made $30 million. I pay your salary. You don't pay my salary. You don't write the check. You don't. Not your little $100 ticket. I'm sorry, it don't. So, like, knock it off. So I get Westbrook, but he need to play better. If he play better, then all of this goes away.
I like that. That was a take that I didn't know where you were going.
It was a rant.
But then it was good. I like it. I will say I agreed with almost all of it. Don't go to break on me because we're doing the net stuff before we go to break, I promise you. But I like the part where you said they come boo me at, like, doing a remote. See, Brian, what you don't know about me, I've always wanted to be hated. Like, when like other kids like dreamed of like getting cheered. Like I used to dream of like hitting home runs in baseball and getting booed like on the road. So you just got to love to be hated. So pretty much that's my goal. But here's the difference in terms of those things. If somebody came out to a remote at TPC and booed me, which would be fantastic in its own right, and Russell Westbrook getting booed at a basketball game, the difference is they paid to see Russell Westbrook. Now, granted, they probably paid to see LeBron James, but they gave their hard-earned money to go watch these dudes play basketball, and then they were trash. And they lost to a team like the Houston Rockets. I understand they lost to the Rockets on the road, but you get my point. If you come boo me at TPC, you didn't pay me no money. You know, you just booing me to boo me, which, again, is fine. But I think the point that I'm trying to make is if you pay all that money to go to the game, now, granted, you just said it. Do we pay your salary? No. But you know how much it is to go to the Laker games? Probably ain't cheap. And apparently them gas prices to get there certainly ain't cheap either.
Listen, man.
So these people are upset.
You can boo. You can say most anything. But there's the things that you can't say. The things that you shouldn't say. Mm-hmm. But by all means, boo. I don't want you to say. Listen, the NBA game is not the golf course. And I know there's cheering like when there's a big shot in the golf course, but I think that it's a bit more, restrained even when people are like clapping and whatnot. I'm just like, oh, wow, They really have some restraint there when they're cheering on, unless it's like a big shot or it's the 17th or it's Sunday on the finale on the back nine or something like that.
Yep.
But the NBA game is a bit more rowdy. An NFL game is a bit more ruckus. NHL, well, I've only ever been to like ECHL games, but an NHL game, I presume.
Yeah.
By the clientele I've seen on TV, that it can get a bit rowdy there as well.
Oh, yeah.
By all means, boo or cheer or clap or scream. But when you cross that line, realize these are human beings. I'm going to say something back. Just because you make $30 an hour and I make $30 million a year, listen, first of all, give me the application to $30 an hour because
I'll take one.
Because I'm out here. But that doesn't change the fact that I'm a human being. So you going to talk to me crazy, we can get real. We can get real, and you're going to get a real response. You want everybody to be real all the time? You want your athletes to be role models and be real? Stop giving packaged answers? Keep on talking crazy about me and my last name and my family and my children. I ain't say don't boo. I said stop talking crazy, because you won't do that when all the lights are off, if no cops involved, if we're in a room by ourselves. Y'all realize Russell Westbrook is like 6'3 and a half? Basically 6'4". I don't think you get it. He looks short to people. Like he is larger than you, most people. Not me. I don't even think Casey. But I'm just saying, look, you talking real crazy, but that's because you think you can't be touched. And honestly, I'm not advocating anybody be touched, Casey, but somebody need to be touched. Anyway.
I like it. Brian Middleton, Casey Kurtz, Action Sports Jacks Overtime. Real quick, Brian, before we go to break, this fascinates me to no end. The Nets are in Philadelphia tonight. Ben Simmons will be sitting on the bench.
You don't say.
With the Nets. What do you anticipate happening when Ben Simmons makes his way out to plop a squad on the bench?
You suck.
You think a lot of that?
I think it'll be a lot of that. I think it'll be a lot of just terrible, terrible boos. And I'm here for it. You hear me? I'm here for it. That is a part of sports. There's going to be a lot of booing there. He didn't want to be there, whether it be because of the city or more so because of the organization. And now he's coming back, and he's not ready to play. And they're going to boo him again the next time he's there, and they're going to boo him again the next time he's there. So, I think it's going to be something that I'm going to make sure to watch, or at least catch on, YouTube or somewhere, ESPN, like online or something like that. So it'll be interesting just to watch that intro or watch when they finally see him, because they're not going to intro him, of course, if he's not playing. But, yeah, he's going to be on the bench. There's going to be some booing there.
Does it make it worse or better that James Harden's really good for the 76ers?
It makes it better.
Like, do you think they're like still as upset, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Listen, man, you turned your back on us.
That's fair.
First of all, you wouldn't take a shot.
That's
and
true.
Then you turned your back on us?
Yeah.
Get out of here. Don't you come back. Why don't you're not even playing? Why'd you even come? Oh, if he wouldn't have come, though, he would have gotten killed online. So
that's true.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm here for it, though.
I like it. So you've got that in the NBA, and what's incredibly ironic is you have a very similar situation in the NHL tonight. The Vegas Golden Knights will travel to Buffalo to take on the Sabres exclusively on ESPN+. And in that game, the Buffalo Sabres fans will have something in common with the Philadelphia 76ers fans. They're going to boo, and they're going to boo, and they're going to boo, and they're going to continue to boo like it's a big old ghost fest. Is that what they said, boo? Yeah, go say boo. Anyway, I think. Anyway, not important. But Jack Eichel, the second overall pick in the NHL draft a few years back, one of the better players in the NHL, left the Buffalo Sabres due to the fact that they didn't get along. It was a very similar to Ben Simmons situation. The only difference is this. Jack Eichel did have an injury that was real, and he wanted to get a certain type of surgery. And this organization said, no, we think you should get a different type of surgery. He said, nah, I'm not playing that. I'm not coming back. I'm not taking your surgery. Y'all better get me the heck out of here. And in a very similar situation to Ben Simmons. And they did get him out of there. They sent him to Vegas. He got his surgery. He's back on the ice, and he's one of the best players in the league. So I think it's very ironic that tonight you will see two exactly similar situations. Ben Simmons just will not play in the game. Jack Eichel will play in the game for the Vegas Golden Knights. So Brian Middleton, with no real information on the NHL, but a lot of NBA information, which building will be louder? When they boo Ben Simmons or when they boo Jack Eichel?
I think Jack Eichel only because he's playing.
That's the right answer.
When Ben is playing, though, that's going to be a whole nother 30, 45, 90, 2 minutes, first quarter, first half, 4 quarters of booing every time he touches it, and I'm here for it.
I like that. And here's what I will say about the NHL one there. He will be booed, and will things be said? Yeah. I don't think anything will be thrown at Jack Eichel.
Will things be said?
Let me ask you this. How many people get arrested tonight in Philadelphia?
Oh, 0. Well, hold on. Because of Ben Simmons returning?
You don't think anyone's going to try to throw something at him?
No, I don't think so.
I doubt that.
Let's over on 2?
Over under. Wait, okay. How about this?
2 people get arrested.
Over. Somebody's throwing something at Ben Simmons.
That's one. Okay, you think it's one.
And then when somebody else sees it, they're going to be like,
it's going to cause momentum. I see it.
It might be a push, but listen. I'm not advocating for it. Somebody's throwing something at Ben Simmons. I don't think anybody's throwing anything at Jack Eichel because it's hard to get it over.
Side note.
The boards.
Philadelphia Airport, A1. Loved it. Love your airport up there in Philadelphia. It's a weird thing to say.
When were you there? Recently?
When I flew back from the West.
Hold on.
That's my connecting.
You're telling me you flew from Phoenix, Arizona to Philadelphia?
That was the only way. Listen, man, it's crazy out here, man. It's crazy. It was crazy. There was a big snowstorm in Dallas, so everything was being canceled that way, like thousands of flights. It was wild, man. Anyway.
Yeah.
We won't have time for anything else. We keep going.
All right. Now, listen, we got to go to break. I wanted to get that stuff in, though. Fascinating. Simmons and Eichel, if you want drama, watch those two programs tonight. Nets 76ers, Vegas Golden Knights, and the Buffalo Sabres. Cash it or trash it on the other side. Action Sports Jacks Overtime, ESPN 690.
Inventory, and more inventory. You heard right. If you want over 500 amazing pre-owned, then you've got to get to Arlington Toyota. 100 used trucks, over 200 used SUVs. That's rows and rows of amazing pre-owned selection ready to test drive at Arlington. Plus, with Arlington's 30-day exchange program, you get 30 days to love your pre-owned purchase or exchange it for the full selling price toward another vehicle. If you want inventory, then come and get it at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Shop in person and online at arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/March for details.
I'm Action News Jack's First Alert meteorologist Garrett Biedenball. Weather here is unique. It could be bright and sunny one minute and then a downpour the next. That's why mornings are when you need us the most. So you can plan your day, no matter if you're getting ready to go to work or working from your living room, getting the kids ready for school or ready for lunchtime. I'm on TV explaining how weather is going to affect your day and night ahead. So you're prepared for anything. I'll get you ready on Action News Jax this morning.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Never paint your house again.
North Florida is one of the golf capitals in America, and our customers get to spend a lot of time on the golf course because they'll never have to paint their house again. Book now to take advantage of our spring special, just in time for the tournament. Save up to 25% off, but hurry because our installation schedule is filling up fast. Call Rhino Shield today, 904-519-5055, or find us online at rhinoshieldjacks.com.
Just be laid back. Community First makes smarter borrowing simple so you can relax, knowing your loan fits your life and your budget. Apply at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union. Just be yourself. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Bono's Pit Barbecue. Yeah, it's good. It's more than food. It's about the flavor, the tradition. It's barbecue, and it's who we are at Bono's. Locally smoked since 1949. Almost 20 locations around Jacksonville. On the menu, smokehouse stackers, sandwiches, salads, sides, and Bono's family feast. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. Authentic traditional Southern barbecue. Feel the flavor, feel the community. Bono's Pit Barbecue. Yeah, it's good.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise, as will your utility bills. Call us today and take advantage of our fall prices. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
Men, did you know that over half of all males suffer from ED or PE? Both of these conditions are highly treatable.
Ladies, if your man is suffering from ED or PE, he should talk to the specialists at Prime Men's Medical Center.
If you're not the man you used to be in the bedroom because of ED or PE, the specialists at Prime Men's Medical Center offer custom blended medications.
There's no pain or surgery. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues, not a problem.
If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down,
Men are now lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And best of all, it's affordable.
for a private consultation with our highly skilled physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center, call 904-664-8217.
That's 904-664-8217. You'll see results on your first visit, guaranteed, or your consultation is free.
Call Prime Men's Medical Center at 904-664-8217.
Hey, it's Brett Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jacks on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jacks. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
I see you decided to stop singing as the mic came on. Brian Middleton, he's talking, but not to the microphone, so he knows I can't hear him. He's probably talking some kind of cheese about me.
I had to clear my throat.
Yeah,
That's what I said.
Sure. Anyway, nevertheless, Action Sports Jacks overtime. One of these days we're going to catch Brian Middleton singing, even though it's going to be tough to do since he's on the board. But you ain't going to sing. Anyway. Nevertheless, the Players' Championship continues at TPC Sawgrass, although it is dark outside, but they are still on the course as of 2 seconds ago when I was in the control room with Brian Middleton. So keeping an eye on that. We have 6 under is still the lead. You now have 3 sharing the lead with Tommy Fleetwood. I should say 2 with Tommy Fleetwood. Tommy Fleetwood, Tom Hogue, I believe we just saw, and the other at 6 under is Keith Mitchell, right?
Yep, Mitchell.
First name Keith. So that's your situation at the Players' Championship. Will be fascinating to see how they get this one in, but that will be a story to follow as we go on, and even probably on the Monday edition of Action Sports Jacks Overtime. It's time for Cash It or Trash It.
Cash it or trash it.
Tell them to bring me my money.
On Action Sports Jacks Overtime.
Yeah.
All right, Casey, cash it or trash it. You know what I'm about to do?
I know what you're about to do.
I'm about to give you a statement. If you agree, tell me to cash it. Disagree, trash it.
Yeah.
You ready for the first one?
You know I am.
All right, first up. If Trent Baalke.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, coming in hot.
Yeah, sounds
If
like
Trent Baalke is able to get Amari Cooper to Jacksonville, he will finally get out of the Casey Kurtz doghouse.
Trash it. I mean, Amari Cooper's all. Oh, by the way, Brent Martineau 1 minute ago. Players' Championship is over due to darkness for the day. So I guess that'll do it for the day for the Players' Championship. So darkness, they'll continue tomorrow, hopefully. And back to what Brian Middleton asked me. No. Amari Cooper, listen, the Jags don't have a lot at wide receiver. Borderline nothing. All right? So would Amari Cooper be good for this team? Yeah. But he doesn't do a lot for me. Like, I'm just going to tell you the truth. Like, I don't know why, but here's what I have on my head on Amari Cooper. Cannot be the best receiver on a good team. Are the Jags a good team? Not particularly. Could he be the best receiver on a bad team? He's proven that. So would it be a good move? Yes. But would I throw the man a parade, be happy, excited for him? No, not really. I think it's just a casual move. Amari Cooper, it is what it is. But no, I would not go over the moon excited for Trent Baalke to pull off a trade for Amari Cooper.
I just said get out the doghouse. My man said throw a parade. Next up.
He's still in it.
This rift, alleged rift, between the MLB players and owners was just a game of chicken.
I like that. You know what? I'm going to cash it.
Tell them to bring me my money.
They went from being miles apart to somehow finding a deal. Today, I think, is interesting. They agreed on some stuff. Universal DH, playoff format, international draft situation. Yeah. Okay. But they were like $30 million off in CBA money like last week. And all of a sudden they got the deal done. So I'm not really sure what the heck happened there. If you're a baseball fan, you should be excited they're going to play. But it seems like it came together. I know this sounds funny because it's been 100 days. I say that it came together pretty quick, but I feel like it came together pretty quick today. So, yeah, I agree with that. Could be some chicken they were playing.
All right, next up. This year's Players Champion will be a first-time winner of the event.
Cash it.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Yeah, I don't think Justin Thomas is going back-to-back. I don't think Rory McIlroy, Siwoo Kim, Matt Kuchar, Henrik Stenson get it done. Ricky Fowler not in the field. I'm trying to think of Webb Simpson. I don't think will get it done. I do think it's a first-time winner. Your three leaders right now would be first-time winners if they were to get it done. I don't necessarily think that's the case, but I think it will be an interesting fight to the end, especially me and Brent said this earlier. We talked all about golf from 3 to 4 and only golf. You can find that on the podcast hour 1 from today, but there's so many good young players right now that there's so many options to win. And then when you add in the war of attrition, it's going to be to battle mentally, the start and stop and the warm up and the sit and just what's going to happen tomorrow. I think it's going to be crazy. So you're going to see only the strong survive, I believe, in this edition of the Players Championship. Would it shock me if Tommy Fleetwood wins this event? No, it would not. Tommy Fleetwood's a very talented player. He leads right now. But at the same time, would it shock me if somebody won the event who's only played 1 or 2 holes, like a Brooks Koepka, Colin Morikawa? That would not surprise me either. But yeah, I think we get a first-time winner in 2022.
All right, next up. $4.75 a gallon is the price at which Casey Kurtz will hang up the keys to his tank of a car and start riding a bike to work.
Yeah, cash it.
Tell them to bring me my money.
You're a little close to that. I saw $4.50 on the way here, man.
So here's the deal with the gas. I've already said goodbye to the car. I know you see it in the parking lot, but it's going away. Can't afford the gas in that thing anymore. Also, the car's been giving me some trouble. So not any serious trouble, if you're listening and maybe working somewhere that could buy it. But, just some things that I don't enjoy about it, mostly with the radio and stuff like that, not loud enough for me. So, yeah, that's a whole thing you didn't ask for. But, yeah, the gas is pretty crazy. And if I lived closer, I probably would bike and or walk. But I'm kind of stuck in the driving situation. But if you know a good bike guy, let me know, because times are tough out here.
It's a struggle.
Tell you what.
All right, next up. Next up, Casey.
What you got?
You're more excited for NFL free agency than you are MLB free agency.
Okay, so I'm going to explain myself, but trash it. Here's why. MLB free agency spring training is going to open in literally a couple of days. You have huge name players available. Freddie Freeman, Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, Kyle Schwarber. World Series altering players are available. And spring training is going to start in a week or less. These guys are going to get signed. These guys are going to figure it out. It's going to be madness for about 72 hours. I think you're going to see guys signing left and right. To be honest with you, I'm surprised we haven't seen somebody sign yet. I don't know if the deal is officially signed on and we're playing baseball again. Like, I know it's been agreed upon. I don't know if it's been signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours type situation. But I promise when that deal is done official, we're going to see guys signing left and right, which is going to be absolutely nuts. So for that reason, in the short amount of time it's going to take, I'll take the MLB free agency.
All right, final one. Now, I'll ask this multiple times throughout the offseason as well, Casey, so just be prepared to hear this multiple times.
I'll be ready to change my take over and over. What you got?
As usual. But the Jaguars, as constructed right now, are good enough to finish second in the AFC South.
Is every other team as currently constructed?
Every other team.
Oh. Cash it.
Tell them to bring me my money.
You went and got married and got intelligent around
As
here.
everything currently stands, yeah.
Okay.
Colts don't have a quarterback.
That's what I'm talking about.
Deshaun Watson still ain't playing.
Yeah.
I heard people are testifying, so that's not.
That can't be good.
That's not good for like the on the field stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think as it currently constructed, they haven't lost anything yet. They will. They haven't. It appears Cam Robinson will stick around, hopefully. And that's a whole nother thing in itself. But yeah, I think Tennessee's obviously a clear one. And Colts don't have a quarterback. Texans don't have a quarterback. Yeah, I think they're good enough right now to finish second in the division.
There you go, Casey Kurtz. Sunshine and rainbows out here.
Man, just first day of free agency.
Yellow brick road out here.
First day of free agency, it's going to be like Colts acquire
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson, exactly. And somehow the Texans will get Jimmy G, and I'll be like, well, we're back and forth.
There you go.
Nevertheless, we got one more break to hit. We got I Said What I Said on the other side. Action Sports Jacks Overtime, ESPN 690. Stick with us.
Life can be shattered in a moment. When that happens, you need a big law firm to fight for you. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hi, it's Rick. I'm at the Smith home. Where's Donnie?
Leaves and autumn bookings pile up for Rick's gutter cleaning service.
He's out? Come on.
He needs help before his bottom line gets clogged.
Okay, well, what about Cristiano? We still got 6 houses today.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Transmission problems? Call Action Transmission Specialists on Merrill Road, where you get the work done right the first time by the experts. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. Our techs can service all makes and models, and we provide a nationwide warranty, so you have the peace of mind knowing we solve your transmission troubles fairly and honestly and guaranteed nationwide. Call us at Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road, where quality counts. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Koala Insulation. Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise, as will your utility bills. Call us today and take advantage of our fall prices. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
In 2022, with the launch of our new Mamba Forever flavor, Body Armor will officially partner with the Mamba and Mambacita Sports Foundation. Together, we'll support youth sports in communities all across the nation, providing resources, guidance, and Body Armor hydration. You can find the Mamba Forever flavor as well as other Body Armor flavors at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, but when we just come out and say it, it feels like it falls a bit flat. So we're going to tap into human emotion, first with some music. Then, in a serious tone, I'll say, save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. And even though it was about saving money with Progressive, we'll fade out the music so you know it was poignant. Wow, powerful stuff. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Hey, you! Ever wanted to learn a language like French or Spanish or even Norwegian, but thought it'd be too difficult or time-consuming? Then try Babbel. Quick 10-minute lessons.
Siesta.
Bambola. Games, podcasts, even live online classes with a real teacher.
Hola, clase.
In no time, chatting about real-life topics will feel, well, effortless. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
This is Robert Palmer, president of RP Funding. With home values at an all-time high, it's a great time to turn your home equity into the cash you need. Plus, get a closing cost credit. Visit rpfunding.com for details.
Terms and conditions apply. Unless 7168 Equal Housing.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
The Big Ten is up, and you know what that means. Get ready, get set, go to Arlington Toyota for the Ready, Set, Go event going on now. Leave it to our friends over at Arlington to have over 500 new Toyotas available with inventory arriving daily. You also get a lifetime warranty plus 30 days to love your new purchase or exchange it. And with 4.7 out of 5 stars and over 14,000 Google reviews, you know you'll be one happy customer. Don't wait. Shop the Ready, Set, Go event in Arlington's state-of-the-art showroom or online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Transmission problems? Call Action Transmission Specialists on Merrill Road, where you get the work done right the first time by the experts. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. Our techs can service all makes and models, and we provide a nationwide warranty, so you have the peace of mind knowing we solve your transmission troubles fairly and honestly and guaranteed nationwide. Call us at Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road, where quality counts. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690. And you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe.
You know, you could really be a DJ for like a hit radio station with this heat that you got playing. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. There's Brent Martineau about to go on TV. You see that on the stream?
Wow, I see you. Don't transition it or transition it.
You guys want to see? Here, I'll do it real quick.
You want to do it real quick?
Yeah, there he is.
Brent, don't do anything crazy.
If you're watching the stream right now, there's Brent Martineau.
Don't do anything crazy, Brent.
Live. There's an empty chair that I'm not sitting in.
Don't do anything. There you go.
There
Transition it back.
That's behind the scenes, folks. That's what it looks like. So anyway, we're back with us. Action Sports Jacks Overtime. ESPN 690. A couple minutes to go before we get out of here. And this time, I think we have enough time for it. I think everything's okay. We're going to do I Said What I Said. Brian Middleton. It's a great idea. I feel like we always run out of time or I do something dumb to make us run out of time. Today, I think we have the time, but I'm going to stop talking about the time, and I'm going to let you start with your first take.
Okay, we're going to start off pretty light right here. The Denver Broncos are a better team with Russell Wilson than with Aaron Rodgers. And will go farther with Wilson than they ever could with Aaron Rodgers. Casey Kurtz.
I said what I said.
See, usually we get in trouble with this because I like react and get all upset.
Uh-huh.
I don't hate that.
No, because it's a correct take. That's why.
We'll leave that there. All right. My first one comes up from the start of the show. The A-Sun, what are we doing? Listen, I went to the University of North Florida, otherwise known as the biggest rivals for the Jacksonville University Dolphins, okay? Listen to me. I don't love the Dolphins like that, okay? I got bad blood with the Dolphins from my years in college, but listen, y'all did them dirty. You disrespected them. They get to the A-Sun championship and you don't let them go to the dance. When you don't let the champion in Bellarmine go, Jacksonville State, which sounds like it should be right here in Jacksonville, Florida. I have no idea where it is, and it doesn't matter to me. Jacksonville State has no business going to the tournament. JU should be in there. They're going to be a 16 or a 15, and they're going to get wiped by like Arizona or Duke or somebody, and we move on from life. But at the end of the day, JU, the Dolphins should have been in there. That's some love from an Osprey. Brian Middleton.
I said what I said.
What you got?
A lot of passion right there.
Yeah, works. I got worked up.
Could be an actor. Now you're back to normal. I like it though, man.
Yeah.
I agree. All right, next up.
What you got?
Casey, people who take their time walking between that little section of the grocery store and the parking lot are the lowest of the low. You're extra terrible if you're looking at your phone while you're slow bopping. I want to be like, why don't you pick it up, Franny? Knees to chest as you cross the street so my 3,000-pound piece of steel called my car can continue on this journey because the gas is still burning when I'm at a stop sign and we're at $4.49, except I get my gas from Costco. Casey Kurtz.
I said what I said.
I agree with you there. How long did it take to get through that Costco line that you posted on Twitter?
Oh, man. Club Costco?
Yeah.
About 25 minutes.
Yeah, it looked like you were there a while.
Yeah, about 25 minutes.
Yeah, I believe that. I won't wait for that. I'll just pay more for gas. That's kind of my toxic trait. But anyway, Brian Middleton, this one's going to be close to your heart. South Carolina is the worst state out of the others that are options. The driving is 2 lanes on the interstate.
Oh, yeah.
You got people going.
Hey, I'm sorry. You're so right. Go ahead, man.
You got people going. You got semis in the left lane, passing other semis. You got to go 6 exits before you can finally get between somebody. You consider passing in the grass on the other side, but you got a car with 2 other humans and a dog, so they're not going to be happy with that.
This is so amazing.
I have to, to get to North Carolina, I got to cut through like some town where there's nothing. Half the houses don't have roofs. I don't understand how that works.
Something like that.
There's no food other than that one restaurant we talked about and one you told me not to go to. South Carolina is just, there's nothing to do in South Carolina. You pass through these big towns, like Florence is like a big town apparently. There's nothing, like the sign will say attractions on the interstate and it'll just be empty. It'll just be an empty sign. South Carolina is the worst. I have no business ever going back there. Hopefully I don't have to go back.
Hey, man, as someone from South Carolina, let me just let you know.
We do not care.
But, as you were about to tell me.
I said what I said.
Yep.
Casey, I felt your pain. So here's the deal. If you've never driven to South Carolina from Florida.
Don't do it.
Yeah, well, okay, that's
just
one.
Fly.
From
It
Casey.
sucks.
But if you're taking I-95, you're at 5 lanes, 3 lanes, 4 lanes, and just before you get to South Carolina, as you go over this little bridge, I don't know where you crossed over, but if you were on I-95, it goes from 4 lanes to 2 wrecked, bumpy lanes. You're like, do they have any construction people here?
Yeah.
At all.
I was wondering that same thing. Like, why do all the roads suck? Like, it's one thing after another with South Carolina. It's just horrible.
Wow. Casey, I tell you what, I'm going to try to get through this real quick. We were just talking about Costco.
Yep.
And if you're at Costco gas and you're waiting in those long lines like I was, I'm going to need you to have your membership card and debit card ready before you get out to pump your gas. Nothing bugs me more, Kurtz, than people who ease into the pump after we all waited 15 minutes for an open one. Then they take their time getting out of the car because they're searching for the 2 things they know they need. They know they need the membership card. They're like, put in the membership card. Put in your actual card you're going to pay with. People just rummaging around in their wallet, in their purse, bro. You're holding the whole line up. If you don't want to be efficient, take your tail down to Quick Trip where you can get that war-inspired inflated gas price, sir. Ma'am? Casey?
I said what I said.
Oh, that's so good. That's so well done. I agree with that. Should I make this one the last one, Brian Middleton?
Make this one the last one, Casey.
All right. This one is a sports one, and I feel strongly about this. Taylor Heineke was and still is a better option for the quarterback of the Commanders than Carson Wentz. I understand they just traded for Carson Wentz. You know, let's look at Indianapolis. Offensive line, they had it. Wide receivers, they had them. Tight ends, had them. Running back, has the best one. Potentially top 3 at the very minimum. Defense, has it. He lost games. He lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars here in Jacksonville in a game that would have sent him to the playoffs. Taylor Heineke continues to impress. Did he have some moments where he looked horrible? Yes, he did. But guess what? He wasn't the 2nd overall pick in the draft. This thing takes time. The Redskins, or I should say the Commanders. That was close.
Do I need a dump button?
It's too late now.
Yeah, it's too late.
Everyone makes that mistake. But listen, the Commanders or the football team, they are an up-and-coming team. I would have rocked with Taylor Heineke. Again, it wasn't perfect, but I'll tell you what's definitely not perfect. Carson Wentz. So instead of trading all those draft picks, instead of that draft capital that you gave up, the players that you might have had, I would have just rocked with Taylor Heineke, Brian Middleton.
I said what I said.
And that's the truth. That's how I feel about it. Right here on a Thursday. We're out of here in just about 30 seconds. We're going to rock with you again on Monday. Tomorrow, Brent Martineau live at the Players. Me and Austin Lane will be here. Dodging some weather, Brent Martineau will be. Me and Austin will be here. Some slam poetry on deck. All kinds of things coming tomorrow. And then we got college basketball all weekend long, SEC tournament, a bunch of conference championships, and then a ton of March Madness games next week right here on ESPN 690. We're back Monday. Regular show back tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. I want to eat a spicy chicken in my Tesla. Is it too much to ask?
Broadcasting live from the ESPN